Cheap living has a price of lower quality of life. Period. I live as cheap as you can live. For the past 3 years, I've lived out of my car, out of one bag, very cheaply. But the price you pay is a lack of comfort and a lack of convenience. While it feels good to have a lack of bills and a lack of liability, you sacrifice a lack of comfort. Good to see you, Blanton, on a live check. So don't be confused by people who tell you that living cheap is the greatest thing ever. Now, I promote living with low attachments, low commitment, because it enhances my mental health. But sometimes physically, I suffer from living cheap. If I give you a fair, well-balanced conversation, good to see a Norma, my member. And I've been reflecting on that during the coronavirus. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have rent. I don't have anyone to answer to. But I also don't have a shower. I also don't have cooking facilities. I don't have weights in my house where I can work out. I pay a price. If you eat food from the dollar store, you live cheap, but your body pays a price. The dollar menu is cheap, but it's lack of nutrition. Everything has a price. Some people who live cheap because they are lazy, they tell you that living cheap is awesome. Some people, whether it's a real estate agent or someone who's stuck on vanity, they tell you to buy. Don't cheat yourself. Balance is always the key. And I do struggle with that at times. If I'm honest with you, I can't just say what I'm good at. And, I'm an extreme person to some extent. To some extent, that's helped me. Many people that are successful, they have an extreme focus, an extreme desire, their passionate personality. Sometimes that could be their Achilles heel, but they can't balance the needle a little bit. And I consider myself overall well-balanced, but I know that I've some extremes in my personality. Living cheap is addictive. And it's almost like I am in a race with myself to see if I could eliminate all my bills, pay as cheap as possible, and live free. And I've accomplished that to a big extent. And I'm very scared to get any more bills, if I'm being honest with you. But if I'm being honest with you, 3 years living on the road, I've gotten sick every year because I don't have climate control. I pay a price for living cheap. I sweat in the summer. Sometimes I've tried to calm myself, but sometimes when people say, Sam, how do you stay cool in the summer? You don't. You suffer. You pay a price for living cheap. How do you stay warm in the winter? You don't. You suffer. You pay a price. Now, again, you pay a price when you live in a house, when you live in an apartment. There's a rent. Everything has a price. Don't let anyone mislead you. Okay. Like Frank asked me, do I buy girls? I don't buy girls. I masturbate. Okay. I've dated, I've gotten my heart broken, and I've broken other people's hearts. Okay. Every relationship has a price. Okay. Just answering that question, it took a price of my energy, price of my time. I'm talking about living cheap, and someone asked me if I pay for girls. Okay. Everything has a price. Sometimes dealing with people, they take a chunk out of your energy. There's a price to pay. Sometimes if I was nicer to everyone, I'd have higher subscribers. I pay a price for being blunt. Never be misled. There is no such thing as cheap living. Okay, there's a price that you pay for cheap living. There's a price that you pay for speaking your mind. There's a price you pay for being yourself. So we're on a journey to count the cost of our life, to see how much we want in our savings. You have to live below your means, okay, in my opinion. Because if you don't live below your means, you'll be on the hook to people the rest of your life. You'll never be able to be yourself. Never. Now, again, sometimes during a renovation of your life, you have to tear everything down. You got to gut it to the studs. You got to cut out everyone you know. You throw out everything you own, and then you got to build up very intentionally on purpose, because you only get so many opportunities to reset your life. You only are going to buy so many houses in your life. You're only going to date so many people in your life. And as you get older, it's got to have a higher importance, or else you repeat the same thing over and over. And that's not the way to live. You know, the whole part of life for me is there's no grand mystery. The mystery is, or the purpose is, I'm trying to suffer less. Suffer less. No one escapes suffering. Some people are dealt a worse hand than others, but you're not going to be able to figure that out. All you can do is focus on being your best self, surround yourself by good people. That's it. Do what you can when you can do it, and that's it. I think if you're getting out of an emergency situation, a divorce, a health scare, etc., I think don't commit to anything and keep it on the cheaper end. I think once you stabilize, you look to incrementally add. But you always have to ask yourself, look, if I decided to live on the road, what's the price I'm paying? You know, if I decide to live out of my car, what's the price I'm paying? If I decide to stay in an apartment in a bad neighborhood, what's the price I'm paying? Do you want to live your life with neighbors that are nasty? You know, I could buy a home base right now that's very cheap, below my means, but it'd be in a bad neighborhood. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. Now, do I want to buy in an area where that mortgage is going to be around my soul and for 30 years? No, I don't want to do that either. I'm trying to find a below my means method to increase comfort, because the cheap life is good, but it has a price. And right now, I would like to be self-contained, maintain a level of flexibility, but add some comfort. But there's nothing really out there, to be honest with you, that I've seen that fits the criteria I am individually looking for. You're going to have to go on your own journey. And so what do you do while you wait? You know, you have to stay patient. Fred, $6 super chat, brother. Thank you. And thank you for that comment on my Airbnb video I did this afternoon. He said, Sam, this is Fred. You always keep it real. I'm doing the best I can. I appreciate your support. You encouraged me that one day I came back to New Jersey and I was upset. Fred says, thanks for continuing to inspire and educate. Thank you, brother. Much love to you and stay safe. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your comments. I felt the same way today, Fred, as I did that day you had to encourage me. It was windy and cold and nasty in New Jersey. And I was cursing the sky because I can't walk. I can't take care of myself. I haven't been to the gym. And it destroys my mental health, my physical health, and I get upset. I will never buy a house up north. Never buy a house in New Jersey. Never buy a house in Boston. Never. Upstate New York's a shithole, and they're all Trumpers, too. And they're a disgrace. They're lazy. They're chasing chickens. I gotta get back down. I'm telling you, it's a disaster. But I called today. Planet Fitness is still not open, even in South Florida. I called Anytime Fitness. I may do a video on that tomorrow. The gym is open, but the showers still aren't open. I called 1,000 Trails. Their camping's open, but their shared showers and tent camping is not allowed in certain ones. So I was thinking about this. I said, Sam, are you killing yourself living cheap? I'm paying a price. There's no doubt about it. All nomads have been, and I always have been. The pros still outweigh the cons. And it's like, I definitely don't want to buy a home base in a bad area, because it just, like they say, you could put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Okay. You could live dirt cheap. You could shop at the Dollar Tree, but you want to destroy your health, destroy your life? I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. When in doubt, I keep my flexibility, which is living mobile. Right now, there's no RVs on the market that are suitable to what I'm looking for. And I don't want to buy just for the sake of buying. Okay. But my message tonight is that I want you to remember on your journey, living below your means is one of the greatest pieces of wisdom I can ever impart on you and tell myself. Living cheap goes beyond that. Living cheap is like, not only are you below your means, but you're being a little bit stubborn in not wanting to spend any money. And I'm in that category. I can self-evaluate and say that about myself. I am. And it's a little bit challenging mentally. It's like when I was obese and then I lost a bunch of weight and I got almost anorexic because I was stubborn. I didn't want to eat anything. And it wasn't because I cared about what people think. It's because I just didn't want to be obese again. And so, like I got out of debt. I got out of the hooks of everyone who wants to control you when you owe them money, whether it's the banks or family. And now I don't want to spend a dime because I don't want to live in New Jersey. I'll fucking never live in New Jersey. I hate to say it. And New Jersey's better than a lot of other southern states I passed through. South Carolina's shithole. Georgia's a shithole. You say, Sam, that's not fair. This is my opinion. I got to live by the beach. But there's nothing cheap by the beach. Is there below your means by the beach? Not many. So if you're going to live cheap, you're going to live in a shithole, even if it's in Florida. If you live below your means, it's not going to be your ideal situation. It's tough when it comes to property. Property is your second biggest expense in your life. Children are number one. Your car is your number three. So when you're talking about living cheap, you're talking about one is how many children are you going to have? Okay, now a lot of people have children, they live cheap, and that's a shame. Don't have children if you're going to be cheap. Look, guys, I'm a cheap bastard, but when I had a dog, I spoiled my dog. Okay, spoiled my dog. $400 a month. If you have a dog and you tie your dog to the fucking back of the tree in the back of your house, you're a disgrace. Okay? Don't get a dog, don't have a child if you don't spoil them. Okay? If you're a psychopath and you don't have the money to take care of a dog or a child, don't have it. Okay? And that's why I'm honest with you guys. I can't handle it. Right now, I would not be able to have a dog or be in a relationship. Someone asked me about buying a girl a gift and all that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm done. I'm not mad at anyone, but I'm trying to tell you. Now I'm working on just myself the rest of my life in this world. Okay, I'll turn 40 in a month. And I thank God. Like some people hate getting old. I love getting old because to me, every year I tick off is one day closer. I'm done with this world. Okay. Now I hate to say that like that, but just the truth. Okay. Now, some people want to live forever. What I found is people don't want to live forever in this world, they're a disaster. I don't even want to be by those people because they're a disaster. That's true. But what are we talking about? We're talking about trying to live your best life below your means, but you end up in the zone of cheap living. Where, oh my God, what? I miss Frank. Damn, Frank Breeze. $50 super chat. Oh shit. Damn, man. Well, damn, man. Thank you. But shit, that wasn't cheap of you, man. Damn, Frank. $50 super chat. Frank, thank you for that gracious tip, man. Forgive me, man, because I know I was a little bit late on that. I'm caught in this zone. All I can say is thank you, man. That wasn't cheap of you. I'm a cheap bastard. That wasn't cheap of you. Frank and Fred, I want to thank you. And forgive me, Frank, because I know I was a little bit rough. That's how I am. Thank you, Frank. I know you asked me about spending money on girls again, but I was just answering that. I'm just trying to be honest. I don't. I'm done. And to be honest with you, I'm scared, not of girls, not of dogs, not of responsibility, but I don't want the burden of owing. Okay. I've come to a place where I don't want a relationship. Okay. Because even if I had infinite amount of money, I don't have infinite amount of emotional energy. So for me, there's a part of the equation when I talk about living cheap or living a detached life that has nothing to do with money. Some people believe it, some people don't. I also calculate my emotional and mental health. You only have so much. And I know me and Fred were going back and forth talking about renting an Airbnb. I couldn't share a bunk bed or share a room with someone. I don't have it in me. It would destroy my emotional health. So I'm also asking myself, though, now living is cheap. And maybe it was a bad day because, again, the weather was nasty. Bad weather destroys my mental health. It does. I hate it. And that's why I'll never live up here. Frank says, are the beaches in Florida still busy in the summer months? Not as busy, nope. They're still busy, but not as busy. And the traffic is way less. That's why I prefer to be in Florida even in the summer. New Jersey shore was crowded last week. It was 60 degrees sunny with the coronavirus. And the Jersey shore is packed. Jersey is like a sardine can. It's small. Google Maps New Jersey, then Google Maps Florida. I told someone last night in here from Israel, look how small Israel is on the map. It's like the same size as New Jersey. It's a small little place. Florida's a huge state. A lot of beaches on all three sides. New Jersey only has beaches on one side. And North Jersey, it's a total shithole. Total shithole. In South Jersey, it's all right, but it's not South Florida. Not even close. I got to get the hell out of here. I may go back to Florida this weekend just for a little trip, but the resources aren't open. The gyms aren't open, the showers, the campgrounds are still stuck. And that's how I thought today. Now, again, maybe I had a bad day because of the bad weather. Weather affects your health mentally, at least it does for me. And I said, I can't live. I hate it up here. I do. I don't want to buy a house. You know, I talked to a lady today, anyone interested in an RV lot in Florida? I've done videos on them. You know, normally they do a 10-year loan on an RV lot. 25% down. That was pre-coronavirus. Now they want 30% down on an RV lot because they want to mitigate their risk. They think the economy is going to go down. They say, you know, now with the things the way it is, you're better off getting a single-family home because you can get a 30-year loan and you get a lower interest rate than an RV lot. I said, I was talking to the banker. I said, I know. I said, but for me, I don't want a house. And my whole point of an RV lot was I don't want a lot of entanglements. I don't want a long mortgage. I don't want to take out a long, you know. You know, it almost reminds me of when I had bad credit in my 20s. I ran up a bunch of debt and I was trying to get a car. I was trying to finance a car. And I wanted to start to get out of debt, so I was looking at financing a used Jeep Cherokee. And they said, yeah, we can't finance this Cherokee to you. I said, why not? It was only like $12,000. And they go, well, the banks look at it as a higher risk because it has, you know, a lot of mileage on it. But we can finance you this truck for $30,000. It's brand new. I said, if you're saying I'm a risk to finance $12,000, why would you finance $30,000? They go, because the banks just look at it as less risk because you're buying something new rather than used. The banks stretch out the loans to stretch out the commitment. They repackage those loans and they sell them, and you're on the hook the rest of your life. You have to be very intentional to live below your means. Very intentional. It takes a lot of discipline and focus. It's so easy to go to the buffet. It's so easy to go to the Dollar Tree. It's so easy to go to a dollar menu drive-through. It's hard to eat healthy. It's hard to live below your means. It's a discipline. And you get caught. See how intense I have to be to like get to this place where I'm beating the system? And no one beats the system, but I'm trying to, you know, get around it a little bit. The house always wins. You know, the psychopaths have home court advantage. But I have to be very intense. Like I had to be very intense to lose weight. Sometimes to do these live feeds, I'm very intense. I know I was short with Frank. Thank you again for your graciousness. But I got to have that mindset to do it. And so when you have a passionate, focused mindset to get done, to get past the BS, what happens is sometimes you go too far and you end up in this cheap land. This land in the middle of the desert where Bob Wells tells you all your dreams and hopes can be found, or whoever. But if you say, well, oh, that's BS, I don't want to live cheap, I want to live the regular life, then you end up in this land where a banker talks you into a 30-year mortgage in Ocean County, New Jersey, and you destroy your life because New Jersey fucking sucks. You got to be very careful. They tell you you're 29 years old, you're a young woman, you should have a kid before you turn 40. Michael Brown, get yourself a coffee. Well, guys, you're being very gracious to me tonight. Thank you, Michael. Thank you again, Frank. That was unbelievable. And thank you, Fred. I don't take it for granted. I do. I need a road trip. Guys, I was pissed today. I tell you, I straight up. And it's no one's fault. It's the weather's fault. I can't be up north. It's a disaster. Windy as hell. It's the end of May. It's the spring summertime. It's 40 degrees if you factor in the wind chill factor. It's going to be rainy for the next couple days. Living the cheap life is tough. You know, talking about cheap things sometimes is tough because you attract a cheap audience. What does that mean? Well, like Blanton was in here last night. He was doing drinks on energy drinks, doing reviews, and I was saying, sometimes you may attract the wrong crowd. Sometimes I talk about car living and living cheap. Sometimes it attracts people who are on drugs or have deep mental problems. There's some people that stalk my channel. They have deep psychological problems. And maybe they found my video talking about mental problems, talking about, living cheap, and so they caught on to it because that's the life they're living. I don't want to talk about a bougie life. I don't like a bougie life. So you see, like, you get caught talking about intense things and intense people follow you. It's very dangerous to live on an extreme because you're dealing with extreme people. And that's why I like to be by myself. However, I can't have the best of both worlds. You're not by yourself in this world. You need other people to a certain extent. You live in a shared society. You want to do a creative venture, you need people to support you. You need a lot of things in life. But I like my independence. I like my independence so much, I'm willing to live cheap and live in my car, but at some point, I want to add comfort. But I can't have my own independent gym without having my own house. Okay. I have to go to a shared gym, and they decide when they put the showers on or when they don't or when the government allows them. So everything has a trade-off. I want my independence. I don't want to live in a community. I don't want the responsibility of a single-family house. But then I don't have the right or the ability to say, well, I want my own gym. Because to have your own gym or to have your own shower, you have to have your own house. Everything has a trade-off. Thank you, Hal. And it's tough in life. Because through trades, what you're trying to do is you're trying to balance yourself, balance your team. If you were a general manager, you make a trade because you need to be better. So every time in life when you make a decision, you're making a trade like a general manager for a sports team. And you're trying to win a championship with your life. That's your best life. But anyone who watches any type of sport, it's very rare to win a championship. It's very hard. You have to make a lot of right decisions and you got to get a little bit lucky. Many people deflate the football just trying to win. So all I can tell you guys, we'll go to live comments, is that those are my thoughts tonight. 3 years living cheap as hell. Now, the most money I spend on a regular basis is eating out. That's true. I could cut that probably down if I wanted to be even more cheap. But being obese, what I learned is I'd rather spend a little bit more money on eating healthy than shopping at the Dollar Tree for my nutritional value. And I want to have some enjoyment of life. I don't want to, again, if you have no other choice and you're in poverty, then you do what you got to do. But if you have the ability to work and you cannot, it's like I live in poverty, but I'm not in poverty. Like I was anorexic, but I had the opportunity to eat more food. I was obese, but I had the opportunity to lose weight. Trying to balance the mind. In a world that has many pitfalls. In a world where when you make some decisions, if you make enough wrong, you pay the price for many years. You go emotional on a car lot, on an RV lot, and you buy something, you're on the hook for many years. Up to 20 years, they finance some RVs. You go and you make an emotional decision on a house, you're on the hook for 30 years. You decide to have a wife or whatever, you're on the hook. Not just financially, emotionally. And so I'm trying to balance out not just what's the cheapest, but what's the healthiest. And it's like, it's hard. Okay. It's hard. Okay. And that's all I can share with you tonight. I will go to all live comments. Thank you again, Frank. Very gracious. That's all I could say. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. And thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Take a hydration break. We'll go all live comments. Blanton, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to you, man. Norma, thank you again for your love. Hope you're doing well. Norma says, my dad came home from the hospital, thank God, a couple hours ago. That's good. I've been praying for him. It's tough to be a caretaker. I don't know if you have to be a caretaker or if you have other family to help with that. But, you came from Georgia, so I know it's probably a cold day, too, in Maryland. I know you're in Maryland now. Weather's horrible. It's not going to be a nice Memorial Day weekend either. And the next week's supposed to be decent, but for me, I need that high vitamin D. I need that sun, and I need space. And right now, New Jersey has none of those things. Cheto, what's up, man? What's up, Sam? Hope all is well. Thank you, brother. Love to you. Frank, he said, do you buy any girls presents when you are dating them? When I did, yes. $25 super chat. Damn, man. Frank Breeze, man, you're being too kind to me, man. I don't want to take advantage of you. That's not right, man. Frank, thank you. But I don't want to be malicious to you. So one is, you did more than enough tonight. So I don't want to take advantage of people. That's not right. So all I can say is thank you, brother, for your gracious tips, more than tips. So I'll start at the beginning of your questions. Again, when I had a girlfriend, I would spoil her. When I had a dog, I would spoil her. And I don't regret any of that. I have never asked for a gift back. Even in breakups, I never asked if we're breaking up, I want something back. Never. I think anyone that gives you a gift and then asks for it back, I think they're a spiteful person. I think you cut them out of your life and you never look back. Because that's a cheap person. Okay. Like if I'm going to get in a relationship, I know it costs money. If I'm going to get a dog, I know it costs money. Okay. And that's why at this point, knowing what I know now, I don't engage in it because I don't want to date a girl and be cheap. I would never want to because I think that's stupid. And I would never want to have a dog and not bring home treats. That's the whole fun. To me, it's fun to spoil your girl. It's fun to spoil your dog. That's a blessing. There's a scripture that says if your child wants a fish, do you give him a rock instead? No. What good parent would deprive their child? None. Okay. But there's some cheap, nasty people that should have never had kids. They should have never been in a relationship. They're not even taking care of themselves now. And what I tell you, get the fuck away from those people. You don't need them in your life. They got nothing wrong with shopping at a Dollar Tree, but I hope you understand they got a Dollar Tree mindset. Okay. They nickel and dime themselves and everyone else in this world. Okay. Because they don't want to put any effort into their life. Okay. When I talk about living below your means and living cheap, I do because I want to put more effort into my self-care, into my inspiration. Now I'm at a crossroads now where I say to myself, Sam, you got to balance it out a little bit because my inspiration and my self-care is dying. Because a little bit we're in extreme time with this coronavirus and, it just wears on you with the lack of comfort that you have on the road right now. And fucking being in New Jersey. Excuse my language. Forgive my language. But what I could tell you is if you ever have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, spoil them. Okay. But if you feel unsafe spoiling them, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. If you feel like you can't trust them. Now, if they let you down, because everyone will let you down, including me, that's part of life. And that's part of being in a relationship. And you can never ask for what you gave to them back. Okay. If you can't handle that, similar to me at this point in my life, then don't engage in a relationship because it's unfair to them, it's unfair to yourself, it's unfair to the dog. Many people are unfair to themselves and to others. And they play psychological games to substitute their lack of critical thought, critical accountability. There's plenty of people here that come in, they want to play psychological games. I don't play a game. Because life's hard enough. Why make life harder? Why suffer more? But misery loves company. Never forget it. So that answers that question. Let's continue to read. Frank, I answered that. Infinity, what's up, brother? Great to see you, man. Infinity, good to see you, man. Thank you for all your love and graciousness as well. Ball Thug, what's up, man? Shout out to all my members out there. Norma, I'm so happy for you. Best of luck to you and your dad. Amen, Ball Thug. Great comment. Norma, thank you. Frank said, no, I asked if you buy girls gifts, do you spend money on girls? I mean, restaurants, etc. Yeah, I just broke that down. Thank you, brother. John. Hey, Sam. Hello, John. How are you, brother? I know it must have been horrible today in Boston. Northeast sucks. In the fall is the only time you want to come up Northeast. August, September, October, max. Okay. Other than that, up Northeast sucks. And even when it's August, September, October, the weather's nice, but the culture sucks. And when I say culture, I'm not saying like Yankees. I'm just saying everyone's packed in like sardines because there's not a lot of space. And the atmosphere, the vegetation, the architecture, everything is garbage. But to me, every place is garbage other than Southeast Florida. I don't want to be in the Panhandle. I don't want to be in Jacksonville. I got to be in Southeast. Why? Because it's a Caribbean vibe. It's a multi-diverse vibe, not just from around the world, but from around the country. It's just a melting pot of beautifulness. Okay. It's just awesome. Okay. For me. Okay. And let's continue. Fred, thank you again for your graciousness also. I know I read that already, but thank you also for leaving a comment on that Airbnb video I did earlier today, man. Thank you, Fred, for all your support, man. Bland, I got some wild inspiration earlier. Be on the lookout. I will, brother. I support you. I know how it is to try to figure out voice. Supreme African. Hey, what's up, bro? What's going on, man? Can't wait for the beaches to open in Florida. Well, from my understanding, they're open now. From my understanding, they started opening up this Monday. And the ones on the West Coast have been open. Jacksonville opened up 2 weeks ago. But the gyms are open, but the shower facilities are not open. That's a big negative for us nomads. Frank, all I could tell you is thank you again, man. Just very humbled. And thank you. Norma, Frank, that's what's up. Gracious. Frank, Sam, enjoy dinner on me. Keep up the great videos. Thank you, Fred, man. Again, I'm sorry, man. I'm intense in the beginning because I got to get certain things out. Forgive me because I know I was a little bit intense on that. Thank you. Thank you. Supreme African says, Frank, thank you. Ball and Thug. I'm from Georgia originally. We moved when my sister and I were around middle school age because gangs were taking all over the public areas, a.k.a. shithole. Yeah, and to me, a country land with no gangs, just a country land of farms is a shithole too. So when I say shithole, to me, it's not just bad neighborhoods. It's just lack of diversity could be a shithole too. Bad weather, shithole. So to me, a shithole is defined by anywhere other than Southeast Florida. Supreme. It's a good spirit. A lot of AKs, ain't no matter. If somebody comes to my property, put a sign on the road, I will bonfire disgrace. Yeah, that sounds like the middle of the country land. That's a shithole. Bone Thug. Frank Breeds needs bank freeze after that one. Gracious. And thank you. Fred, nice one, Frank Breeze. That was awesome. Very gracious. Triple O, what's up, man? Hey, Sam, what's up? I live in the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. I spent some time there. And I do want to move to North Jersey. It's clean. Well, it's better than the Bronx. It's clean. People are real, and most towns aren't boring. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what part of the Bronx you want. It depends what part of the Bronx you're at. But, yeah, the Bronx is a disaster. So, and parts of North Jersey could be a disaster. I don't know if you're going to go to Jersey City. I don't know if you're going to go to Newark. So, New Jersey, parts of New Jersey are better than certain parts of New York. But you're going to have the same climate. I always tell you guys, there's two parts of an environment, climate and culture. So the difference in climate from the Bronx to North Jersey, there's no difference. The climate is the same. So the only thing you're going to change is the culture. And depending on what part of North Jersey you go to, the culture ain't going to change that much. So what you need to do is research on strictly culture, okay? Because the climate is a non-variable. It's not a change. So there's two parts of an environment, climate and culture. That's the only reason you should ever move. And that's the only reason people do move, climate and culture. Okay, so, even when you say, Sam, I'm going to move back with my family, that's culture. Okay, if you say, Sam, whatever. I mean, there's only two parts of our environment, climate and culture. So the climate won't change in North Jersey versus the Bronx, only the culture. And if you don't do the research, you're just going to end up from one shithole to... I remember I watched a Tupac documentary. Tupac was one of my heroes growing up. He said, I think he moved from Harlem to Baltimore, thinking that Baltimore would be better. And then he moved from like Baltimore to, I don't know if it was Compton or a bad part of California. He said, he was surrounded by poverty in the different areas that he went because a big part of where he was going, the culture was in poverty. Okay. The climate changed. Okay. The climate in Baltimore versus California, big difference in climate, but the culture wasn't different. And when I say culture, a lot of ignorant people get caught up in race. I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about people's mindset, opportunities, and a support system, etc. Right? So culture is not a race. It's not a religion. Culture is a mindset and a difference in personality. Example. If you come in the live chat and someone says, I'm a huge supporter, thank you for this, here's like a piece of insight. If someone comes in the live set and says, you suck a big cock, he creates a culture, or she creates a culture. If someone says an encouraging word, they create a culture. Okay. Now, beyond just the people, you have the environment. Okay. You have a palm tree versus a pine tree. That's culture. Okay. Now, a palm tree can't grow in a climate in New Jersey. Okay. But the architecture in New Jersey, the way the houses look, the way they're designed, versus the architecture in South Florida is different. That's culture. Okay. So culture is also art. Okay. So culture is many things, whether it's architecture, art, vegetation. Some of those are influenced by climate, including personalities, okay? But I could go to parts of South East Florida that are a war zone, okay? I've been to disaster. I don't stay in those areas. Why? Culture. I can go into the middle of Florida, but I won't. Why? Because there's a Confederate flag. That's not my culture. So the cultures are very important. We got a new member. Damn it, man. You guys are feeling it tonight. Who's a new member? Frank Breeze. Oh my God, man. Frank Breeze hitting a 777 slot machine tonight, man. 2 super chats that blew out of the water. And you joined the channel memberships by clicking that blue button. Well, all I can tell you, Frank, is thank you. Welcome. I'll see you on the Sunday only member chats that I do every Sunday, where it's just the members in the chat. Everyone can watch, but it's just for members. So thank you for the support. Thank you for the appreciation. Thank you. So let's continue to read, man. Frank, appreciate you, man. Unbelievable night. And so who was, I know I was answering that question, or I was just expanding on the topic. Triple O. Oh, yeah, Triple O was talking about the difference in the environments. Norma laughing at Ball and Fuck. Frank, are the beaches in Florida still busy in the summer months? I know I answered that also, but no. And even in the height of tourism in the winter, the Florida beaches are not packed. Why? Because Florida is a peninsula, meaning on all 3 sides there's ocean. Now the Gulf of Mexico on the west coast of Florida is not the same as the east coast of Florida with the Atlantic Ocean. On the Atlantic Ocean, you have a stronger current, greater breeze, and in my opinion, better culture. My opinion. Now, again, I know there's people in here from the west coast of Florida. No disrespect, but I got to be honest with you, in my opinion. The west coast of Florida, the culture is different. It's not as diverse, and it's not as rich, and it's not vibe. In my opinion, it's not tropical vibe. The Gulf of Mexico is a more laid back, just less magical vibe for me. So, but the beaches, there's so many that you can find an area, whether it's on the west or east coast, that's not a crowded beach. You know, like on the east coast of Florida, there's Highway A1A that just goes down from like Jacksonville Beach all the way down to Miami Beach. Now, Miami Beach can get crowded, okay? But there's so many, if you go north and you go to like, you just go north like a half hour, 40 minutes, there's secluded parts of the beach. So what I could tell everyone is the only part about Florida that is not good is August and September during the height of hurricane season. And if you don't research and you move to Florida just for the climate, but you forget the part of culture, because there's bad parts of Florida, including Southeast Florida, very high crime, high poverty. Okay, so you always have to balance out. If you find a cheap place in Florida, the climate's good, but the culture can be crap. It could be dangerous. And you have to balance those out. Let's take a hydration break. Everyone showing me love tonight. And obviously, Frank, with all the love, man. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Frank. It's just amazing. Take a hydration break. Fred, I won't be surprised if the infection rate increases in New Jersey. I think it was still too soon. The beaches are crowded. They were packed last weekend, and everyone is on top of each other. You got it. It's too condensed. I agree. It's not hot. It's just nasty, man. But I hear you, man. See me? It's 78 and sunny in Syracuse, New York today. Well, yeah, you got away with it. And I thought that wind was coming from the North Canada direction. I need sun and warm weather year round. I totally agree. That's why I changed my life, moved to Florida. Again, I would not be up here. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm glad I came up here for my mother. I'm blessed and I'm thankful. I'm thinking about going down to Florida, at least for maybe this weekend. I don't know if I will or not, though, because the resources aren't open yet. And right now, there's not a home base that makes sense. So it's tough to be patient. Hal, new to your channel, welcome. Thank you for putting me on to a lot of game, thank you. About living on your car, thank you. And living this life, thank you. Have a blessed day. Well, you also, Hal. Thank you for the encouraging comment, man. Jennifer, hey, Jennifer. Hello, Sam. Wave emoji, grinning. Oh, man, they don't have a lot of vegetation like that in New Jersey. And a bikini, I ain't see a good bikini in months. Oh, God bless you. Koala bear. Yeah, I feel like a koala bear. I feel fat, pale, and in Antarctica. I feel it's a disaster up here. I love you, Jennifer. Josh, banks waiting to finance here. Yep, damn right. Banks are waiting to finance a brand new car, but not a used one. Sounds like a complete scam to me. The system is based on debt. I believe in reform for America. I'm fair. I still believe America is a great land with a lot of opportunity. I truly believe it. Okay, and I think if you're willing to put any effort in at all, you'll live a decent life. I have family members that don't work at all and they never starve. You're never going to starve to death in America. But to live your best life, you got to put some effort. So the problem is, if you don't put effort to not getting trapped in the system, as great as America is, it can be a fucking trap. Okay. Because every system is based on a trap. Systems are based to direct the masses. Okay. The masses do not really want to be necessarily free and individuals. They want things laid out for them, and they're okay with just, living a basic life and, getting by and not being and that's fine. But for some people, like I'm not Elon Musk. I don't want to create overpriced electrical vehicles, okay, and have 6 kids. And I just want to live a life by the beach on my terms. And if, God forbid, I get laid off, I don't have to beg someone for money. I want to be able to have my own gym again. I want to be able to have my own shower again. But with that comes an entrapment of going to the bank for a loan, because they don't sell tiny houses in nice areas. There's no RV lots in nice areas that are reasonable. I'm okay with not being cheap, but there's nothing that's below your means in a decent area. So you got 2 options. You could live dirt cheap in a house that's going to be in a nasty neighborhood, whether it's in the country or city, or you can live mobile, which that's why I gravitated towards that. You say, Sam, like I showed you an Airbnb video today that shows you how to do short-term rentals. And that's a blessing, but the problem with that for me is it's cheap and it's low commitment, but it kills my independence. Like for me, I'd rather spend a little bit more and be independent, but I've deferred back to living mobile because I get my independence, but I don't get the amenities. So the balance is tough. Let's continue. Michael Brown, thank you for that tip, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank God that Starbucks is open with the drive-thrus, but you can't go inside and charge your electronics. So that's another issue for a nomad on the road. You know, you got to be able to charge your electronics. Hal, I definitely need a road trip. Well, for me, again, I don't want to travel to Arizona. I don't want to travel to the mountain Rockies. Like a lot of nomads now, they're traveling up north. I hate up north. I hate the culture. Okay, so now I'm not a deep South guy either. Like I don't like the middle of the rural land. I don't like that shit either. I like Southeast Florida. So for me, if I take a trip, I'm going to Southeast Florida. I'm home there. And that's what kind of gets, now everyone's not home in Southeast Florida. Some people like Utah, some people like California, and God bless. Again, you guys got to remember, when I get intense like I get, I'm not screaming at you, even though I know it sounds like I'm screaming. I'm intense because I'm getting myself worked up. Okay, so for me, I know where I feel most inspired, Southeast Florida. I went on a 3-year journey with no commitments to find where I feel most inspired. Now, no place is perfect, including Southeast Florida. Hurricanes in August and September, that's when you want to take a road trip up north. I came early up north because of this damn coronavirus. Okay. I would like to go back to Southeast Florida at least till August. But there's no resources down there. Right now, I would not recommend anyone be a nomad per se, because unless you're really adaptive, because the showers are a struggle, the gyms are still a struggle, and you got to give a little bit more effort. And it's the price of living cheap that you're going to have a lower quality of life sometimes. Hal, thank you for teaching me a lot. Thank you for the positive comment. I'm new to your channel. Welcome, and welcome, Hal, and welcome, Fred, to the member. Welcome to the member part of the channel. Thank you, guys. Carlos, Sam, shout out to Southeast Florida. I think you need a quick road. Yeah, Floyd. See, everyone knows. You guys know me, guys. I get in a bad zone, man. And today I was barely holding it together when it was like 65 and somewhat sunny the past few days. And now it's fucking back to like 40 degrees with the wind chill. There's no sun. Again, the culture sucks. And Memorial Day weekend in the Jersey Shore is a shithole, okay? Because it's a shit show. Everyone comes down. They'll probably still come down this weekend. It's not even nice weather. No one's in bikinis. I hate the Jersey Shore, man. I got to get down to Florida. See me. I think life has prepared me for van life and eventually nomadic life. Have been in the middle. Oh yeah, if you're in the military and you've moved around, then yeah, you kind of know the nomadic life, what it's about a little bit. I grew up accustomed to travel. I would agree with that. Live in the most basic and extreme conditions. I would agree with that. Gringo, man, love to you, man. Love to all my members. I'm here listening. Just arrived. Thank you for that comment. Love to you, and I appreciate having you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Fred, I agree with Carl. I would agree with Carlos. Maybe a quick trip to Florida is best. I've been thinking about it. That way you can test the waters down there and see how things are. Well, that's good, and that's why I called today. I called the gyms. I was willing to join Anytime Fitness because they're open right now and Planet Fitness isn't. But Anytime Fitness is about $500 per year. Planet Fitness is only like $20 a month, so it's like half the price. But I was willing to join Anytime Fitness, but the showers are still closed, and they're not going to open up. So that's a major resource to take a road trip. So do I want to do truck stops all the way down to Florida, and then when I get to Florida? Not really, because that's a pain in the ass. I know where the truck stops are in South Florida. It's a pain in the ass. So I don't know. That's why I was a little frustrated today when I did the research. I'm surprised they haven't opened up the gyms. They opened them up, but not the bathrooms. I mean, not the showers. Triple O, in New Jersey, as long as you stay out of rough towns like Newark, Patterson, Camden, you're okay. In Jersey, economy is strong and people are cool. Well, I would agree with the economy strong, but don't forget, there's two parts of culture, right? Like, you can stay out of the inner cities, but there's parts of South Jersey or there's parts of Northwest Jersey that are rural, narrow-minded, nasty parts too. So again, it's like, don't forget, the suburbs don't mean that it's a good culture, okay? So you got to visit an area before you commit to an area. It doesn't matter if it's the suburbs, the country, or the city. anyone looking to move, you have to visit and you have to go there several times and get a feel for the culture. Climate and culture are two parts of an environment. And if you underestimate either one, you're going to repeat a vicious cycle of being unhappy and unhealthy. That's true. Norma, could you maybe set up a personal gym in a small shed if you got an RV lot? Good question. That's a good point. I could. The problem is, I learned today that the RV lot financing just went up. So instead of putting 25% down, they want 30% down. So any RV lot in South Florida that's by the beach is going to be at least $100,000. Now you say, Sam, you can go inland in the middle of the country and get a cheap RV lot. Yes, but I don't like that culture. So I don't want to live in the country. So I'm stuck. I'm stuck to defaulting to the cheap life, which I don't mind. To me, guys, I'm not an egotistic man. Like, I got no problem, shopping at the Dollar Tree or living in my car. I got a problem with, one, I got to eat healthy. So I'm not going to be cheap on my food because I've been obese and all those things. And I'm at a point now where I got to be able to work out for my mental health. And I got to be able to take a shower. So the cheap life, the price I'm paying now is the things I just mentioned. And that's where it's not worth it. And it's a very challenging time right now. It really is. Oh, Gringo. I've seen people work out in the parking lot where I work and they don't work there. Yeah, look, I mean, I've seen people set up camp in the middle of a Walmart parking lot. I've seen, homeless people basically take a shower with soap and shampoo, in the middle of the parking lot. So I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel comfortable working out like in the middle, I can understand I get some free weights and go to a public park in the workout area, but I wouldn't really get into it. The reason I would want an in-home gym is because you work out a little bit, you take a break, you do some other things that you need to do for your life and your business or whatever, and then later on in the day you work out again. Like having weights in your car, taking them out, going to a park, doing it, and then doing that over and over throughout the day, it kind of like takes away the rhythm. And it takes away the ease of it, the convenience. The sacrifice of the cheap life is you've just sacrificed convenience. The benefit of a home is you have convenience. Okay. Now, I don't want a full-blown home because it's a trap of never-ending owing and liability. But the cheap life is never-ending being in public and not having the conveniences and comforts of home. I'm trying to find the balance. I thought the balance was an RV lot. But the RV lots, the prices are still inflated, and the financing is not good. So it's a mixed bag, man. Lala, I need create my life, move on. I rent a house in Venice, Florida, $23,500 a month. Damn. My friends and I want to do this in 3 years. Water and sewer paid off. Well, that may be $23,000 a year. $23,000 a month. You're living a dream life. Love to you, Lala. See me? What are your thoughts on the casitas? I don't like the way they look. They look like old school style. So the look, cosmetically, I don't like. I think the shortest one they have is a 16 or 17 footer. I don't like that because to me, I'd rather either have a 13 footer. Well, I know the Scamp makes them, but I don't like the look of the Scamp either. Casitos, I don't like the look. I don't like the size. And the weight is still like 2,500 pounds, so you still need like a pickup or a bigger SUV to tow it. And I only have a 2,000-pound tow capacity with my Jeep Renegade. So if I really don't want to pull a travel trailer, I don't. If I get a travel trailer, the only way I would get a travel trailer is if I had an RV lot that I owned, because I don't want to keep towing shit. It's just not convenient. I'd rather live out of my car. So if I buy an RV lot, I definitely would not buy a casito to put on it. This is just my opinion now. I would buy a bigger RV where I could have a room with a weight set. Because you could buy like a cheap 32-foot RV that has like a living room, a bedroom. And I really don't want room, but I would. Now I know that I want a weight set, a workout room in my RV. I don't want to have to go to the gym again. Obviously, you want a shower and you want sleeping quarters. So if you're going to have an RV lot, you might as well go a little bit bigger because why have a small little RV on an RV lot unless you're going to pull it? I'm not going to pull it. So for me, an RV lot with an RV on it is just to get away from paying for home insurance. being able to get it towed off the RV lot if I don't like it anymore, if it gets too old, and having a level of flexibility, but, convenience, etc. Norma, Lila, that is crazy expensive per month. That is. I don't know if she got that per month or per year. Josh, the thought of owing someone for 30 years on a mortgage or car note gave me anxiety. I can understand that. 30 years a slave. I had a 30-year mortgage. I financed it a couple times. I refinanced it. So, I don't really want to go back to that life. But the cheap life is, guys, I got no mortgage. It does feel good mentally. But I don't have the physical comforts that I once did in a home. So, I still prefer to live on the road versus a house, period. But the main reason I sold my house in Florida was not because just I hated having a mortgage, it's because I hated the climate. I hate New Jersey, not because New Jersey has better job opportunities than Florida on average. However, once you live below your means, you can find a job in Florida, and a lot of jobs are going remote now, and I don't want to live in New Jersey, period. I respect New Jersey for what it is and what it has to offer, but I don't like it. I hate the fucking climate. Excuse my language, I know I'm cursing. You should only buy a house for two reasons: climate and culture. And New Jersey, I don't like either one. So that's why I sold my house, and then I used it as an opportunity to live below my means. And then I went very extreme and I got very cheap. And now I'm trying to get myself mentally to take on some expense, but not go back to an indebted life for something that I'm not going to use. And it's a challenge. I'm documenting that challenge mentally, financially with you, sharing you. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. That's true. Norma, even thinking about the house buying process, I agree with that. It gives me anxiety too. It's a stress inducer. You're right. The inspection, I agree with that. The back and forth closing, I agree. The RV lot is a little bit less. It still has some of those same components. So that's where I'm at. Now, look, the opposite of that is sometimes in your car, having a place to park, not having the gyms open right now, or not having the showers open in the gym, that gives you stress. So there's always these counterbalances, that we face. Josh, yeah, 23. Yeah, in Venice, no, I think you got that wrong. Zach's a good viewer, though. Josh also said hello to everyone. Norma, yeah, the weather is gross. Weather destroy your mental health. That's my opinion. Frank, man, thank you for those 2 tips. Thank you for joining. The channel means a lot to me. Thank you to all my members. Thank you again, Fred, also for the tip. And thank you, Michael. Carlos, good Frank. Norma says, Frank, thank you. Fred, you need that Florida sun. I do. I'm happiest when I'm in Florida. That vitamin D, that sun, it matters. It matters to me. Sam, I can see the distress. Fred, you know me, man. I told you really helped me that one day. When I came back to New Jersey, I was stressing. You know me, man. Fred, Frank, you are too good, bro. Yeah, very gracious tonight, Frank. Ball and Thug. I was going to put 80% down on my Murano. Okay, that's like a SUV. And I only wanted 4K finance to help my credit. They denied me, but told me I was approved for a lime green compact car that was 12K more for 16K. What? And that's the bad part about, I could say capitalism, but it's any system. Because if you're not intentional in any system, in not getting entrapped in that system, you become indebted to that system. Doesn't matter what system. The system is for the masses. Because most people don't have a direction, so just give them something to do. You say, Sam, what do the elites think about life? Look, there's some corrupt elites, but the general consensus in the elite community is the masses just need something to do, and we will give them enough not to let them live this horrible life, but they just need something to do. Okay. And most people are just happy with something to do. Some people will bitch and moan no matter what. Some people are nasty and greedy. Most people in the middle just want something to do. And then there's a rare group of people in life that want to live on their terms. Now, not rebels to the point where they're paying for prostitutes, they want the downfall of society, and they got all these guns. There's a small percentage of people that just want to live an individual life. They want to be a peaceful, productive person in society, but they don't want to be on the hook to every part of the system. That's me. I understand the need for a system. I don't begrudge a system. I understand some people make their bed. I understand some people manipulate the system. I try to make the system better. I try to make myself better, but there's only so much you can do. You know, I think MLK, Martin Luther King, had that quote that we're in a place where there's socialism for the rich, but socialism for everyone, it can take away individuality. But if there's too much individuality, there's not enough social awareness. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he was saying that we struggle to find a balance between social well-being and individualness. And you need both. You need individual freedoms, liberties to create your own life, and you need a level of social community interconnection. The balance is the key. And that's not an exact science because everyone's different. Like there's some people that watch me, they may like a lot of what I say, but not all of what I say. Why? Because we're individuals. We all have our own fingerprint. 7.5 billion people in the world, and everyone has their own fingerprint. That's the reason that if, God forbid, you ever get locked up, they take your fingerprint. That's the reason to unlock your phone, you use a fingerprint. It's the highest level to identify who you are. You're an individual. Now we're all connected through humanity. You know, we all get sad, happy, angry. We all feel fear. We all need help. Some people take advantage of humanity. Some people want humanity to pay because they feel like they've had to suffer and they want other people to feel that suffering. Guys, it's the world we live in. So, inspirational nomad, I'm watching you. What's the answer? The answer is you're on a journey to seek out how can you suffer less, live your best life, and be a positive person in society. And through that, you break that down through a healthy mind, body, and soul, and financial independence. Financial independence comes from living below your means. Living cheap is an extreme part of living below your means. That you went beyond just living below what you can afford. Now you're living cheap. And you've cut away conveniences and comforts of life that make you suffer less. Because you've tried to enhance financial independence. So to get some of those comforts and conveniences back, you're willing to sacrifice some of your financial independence. And now you're in a tug of war. And some people tug harder than others, individuality. Some people say, hell no, I'll never live in my car. I'd rather have less financial independence and rent a room or have a 30-year mortgage. And that's part of individuality. And that's a big part of the message tonight. I wish there was an easy, simple answer, but just like losing weight, there is none. Okay. You know, just like trying to find out what's the best system in society, reform. There's no one exact easy solution. There's easy ideas. It's hard to implement them because there's a lot of pitfalls. So let's take a hydration break, guys. Can't even roll down my windows too much because the cold Arctic air of New Jersey destroys your well-being. That's what happens. Carlos. Sam. You already have the gas for the road trip. Yeah, you guys were very gracious. Fred, Frank, blew me away to say Frank, thank you. And my man Michael, thank you guys. Fred's laughing, Carlos, so true. Carlos, yes, Fred. Lila, and rent my house and $23,000 a month. Mortgage paid off, water, sewer, electric, 22,000 square foot. Zach, we love you, man. That's out of control. Triple O. Many people say it's better to be there where you're currently not. I think you're wrong with Jersey, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah, look, I mean, you got to go on your own journey. You know, some people think I'm wrong for loving Florida and they hate Florida. So again, I kind of just broke down individual part of life. But never take advice from someone who hasn't visited that area. There's 2 times you should never take advice. Well, 3. The first is if someone hasn't done what they're telling you to do, don't take their advice. So if you haven't visited New Jersey, if you haven't visited those areas for a couple years, don't even tell me like you think it's better. And if you're listening to other people, don't take their advice. Now, the other part is, if I tell you New Jersey's not good, but you have done the work and you've researched and you've visited, then don't listen to me, do you? The third thing is, we're all on our own journey. So there's no absolute truth to life as far as what's best for you as an individual. There's general principles, but everyone has to seek their own best life. Your therapist can give you tools, but you have to use the tools. A lot of people go to therapy and they want the therapist to fix their life. They're a fucking disgrace. A lot of people want their boyfriend or girlfriend to give them joy. They're a disgrace. A lot of people get a service dog, but they don't service their own life. They're a disgrace. Look, they're just regular people. I use the word disgrace a little harshly, but I try to bring home the point to you that if you're serious about living your own best life and you're not just masturbating to looking online and you're willing to go out there and put some effort in, then you'll get to a point where it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. As long as you've done the work, the research, and you're willing to take accountability, whether it goes right or wrong, you go out there and you try it out. But it's going to be a price to pay. Whether it means sleeping in your car, cutting ties with your father, having a drug addict come knock on your door in the middle of the night, or whatever it is. Because I've had all those things happen to me. I've paid a price for my best life. You will too. And if you're unwilling to pay the price, then you're never going to do it. What's the price of losing weight? You got to eat less. What's the price of a divorce? You may have to lose half your net worth. You may have to go through depression. But you're going to separate from an unhealthy relationship. Everything has a price. What's the price of shopping at the Dollar Tree? You may not have proper nutrition. You may be saving $1, but you may be destroying your sodium intake. Everything has a price. Never forget it. See me, Norma, that's great news about your dad. I agree. Norma, thank you. See, old gringo. Ex-wife lived in Queens, but we met in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Latina. I love, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like the desert. And I know New Mexico is mainly desert environment. Not my style, but love to you and your ex-wife, man. Money man. 2800. What about Southwest Florida, Naples, Fort Myers? I like Marco Island and Naples. I would not want to live there, though. Why? The culture is not as diverse. The demographic in Southwest Florida is mainly older demographic, less diverse, and the Gulf of Mexico is not as good as the Atlantic Ocean. For those reasons, I don't like it. My opinion, that's my individual personality. Naples and Marco Island are the best, but even those areas are not my favorite. So as far as like Florida, but in Southwest Florida, my favorite are Naples and Marco's Island, but again, just don't like that in general. That's my opinion. Good question. Frank, thank you for joining the membership. Thank you for clicking that blue join. Thank you for your 2 generous super chats. You know, it's like, I appreciate you understand. Obviously, if you did it, you understand where I'm coming from. So thank you. Thank you for understanding me and appreciating me and the encouragement. Thank you. Old gringo. I miss living in Arizona. And that's your environment that inspires you. I have met some people that say, Sam, I love your passion for Florida, but I like they do like the desert more. They like Arizona. They like California more. And so again, I always try to take it. I know I'm passionate and rough, but this is me getting myself worked up for life. I want, whether it's old gringo or anyone else, I want you to go to where you feel inspired, whether it's North Jersey, Arizona, or wherever. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be, but I want you to understand it's going to take this level of intensity. Like you see when I get intense, that's what it takes to get to where you want to go. Okay? Because, you need energy to go. Okay? It's not going to just come. Okay? Nothing in life just comes to you. Once in a while you get lucky, but luck comes through positioning yourself, through effort. Because you can only get so lucky. A lot of people who live cheap, they just do scratch-offs. They're trying to get out of poverty through luck. Not going to happen. And if it does, you're going to give it back. Why? Because living financially independent takes some effort. It's a discipline. You need some luck. It's only by the grace of God we're born with a certain mind, born in a certain environment. There's some people that beat the odds. I understand all those things. I don't pander to you. I don't tell everyone pull himself up by their bootstrap. But what I'm telling you is, even if you're given everything, you still have to put effort. Because I grew up in a household in a suburb with other siblings. We all went to the same public schools. We all had the same opportunities, but we all took different paths. That you have to be intentional about what you're doing with your life, or else you're going to get trapped in a system. Whether the system means food, whether the system means food stamps, or the system means a 30-year mortgage in New Jersey, whatever it means, you will get caught in it. Okay? Because there's no social worker and there's no financial institution that knows what is best for you. Okay? But if you don't know what's best for you, a social worker will determine that. A real estate agent will determine that. If you say, I don't know what house, let this real estate agent tell me what house I like. If you say, I don't know how to feed myself, let this social worker decide. Guys, they will decide for you. So what I tell you is, you got two options. You're going to put some effort and say, I don't want someone else to decide my life. Okay. But it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. You need the grace of God. You need help, but you got to do it. So let's continue. Old Gringo. I miss living in Arizona and New Mexico. That's my climate and culture. Well, thumbs up to you. When I was trying to get my health together, there's one person on YouTube that really inspired me, Ultimate Warrior. He was an ex-wrestler in the 90s in the WWF. And he died, but like years ago when I was getting my health together in my early 30s, he was still alive, and he would make self-motivating videos on YouTube. He only did a few. But they really spoke to me. They inspired me. And I remember one video he did when I was still living in New Jersey, and I was struggling, like I was in a funk mentally. I was trying to get inspired to work out, and he said, part of life is not just getting into a workout routine. But he says part of life is being inspired with where you live. And he said, he went on to say, like, he grew up in Indiana, where it was very cloudy, and a lot of people in his family struggle with depression. And he said, when he started to travel with wrestling, and he went down to Georgia, and he went down to Florida and Texas, he said he started to realize that climate and culture play a part in how you feel mentally. And he said for him, Arizona spoke to his soul, and he felt most inspired mentally. He loved Arizona. Now, I don't like Arizona, again, because I got to be by water. I got to be by Southeast Florida. But I respected what he said and how he said it. And he was even calm when he said it. But it matters to live in an environment that inspires you. It matters because it gives you energy. And you need your energy to live your best life, because it doesn't just come, And so let's continue. Frank, thank you, Sam. You're getting us through this quarantine life. Well, Frank, thank you for understanding me. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for your 2 generous tips, man. I'm grateful. Jennifer, Daytona Beach to New Sumerian. I've been to those areas. I don't like Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach has high drug use. It's really gone downhill, in my opinion. Sumerian Beach is okay. The best place by Daytona Beach, in my opinion, is Flagler Beach. That's just my opinion. So I respect you, Jennifer, and I appreciate you. But Daytona Beach is a shithole, in my opinion. The beach itself is decent, and it's a good beach to walk on because the sand is packed. What you'll find in Florida is each beach, whether you're in North Florida, South Florida, West, East, the beaches have different feels. The sand is packed. Some sand is a different color. Some of the ocean is a different color. But Daytona Beach is not South tropical Florida, and there's a lot of drug use there. Sumerian Beach, it's secluded. It's okay. Flagler Beach, thumbs up. But the Flagler Beach is not south. It's not tropical. You know what I mean? It's a mild tropical surfer quiet town. Okay, so that's how I would say. Money Man, why aren't I seeing certain comments? I don't know, Money Man. Sometimes people get blocked if they. I have an algorithm set on my YouTube chat that if someone uses bad words or something, that I have to approve it. Let me see if anyone's blocked right now, if I can pull it up. Let me see if I see any blocked comments. I don't think so. Oh, yeah, Jessie O got blocked. Jessie O, because Jessie O used the word shit. Jessie O, you're approved. She's my first ever member. Lila, I'm going to approve you. You must have used a bad word. Pluto, $2 super chat. Damn, I'm missing super chats. Pluto, you inspire us all, brother. Pluto, thank you. Pluto, did you see the video I did and I mentioned your name called Airbnb? I uploaded it earlier today. Let me know if you saw that, Pluto. Much love to you. Pluto, thank you for the tip. I did a video today. Oh, you did? You saw it? I thought about you, man. You inspired me, and I think that's a good video. So, think about that. I know Pluto's trying to move from St. Augustine, Florida to Fort Lauderdale, and I found some cheap places to rent for under $500 a month. Now, you gotta look. Some of those places may not be in a great area, but it's a resource. Airbnb, which is an app where people share their house, whether they share a room or they share their entire house and they rent it out privately. You can rent a place by the night or by the month. You can even rent like backyards and park your RV. It's another resource, especially in times like that, we have to look at. So, thank you guys, man. Thank you for all the love tonight, guys. And always forgive me if I don't see a super chat quick enough or something. I want to make sure I call it out, but I just sometimes I'm in a rant. BBT, good to see you, man. Shout out to South Carolina. I don't like South Carolina. BBT, I love you. I hate South Carolina, man. I love you. Jennifer, Velocity County originally. I don't know where that is, but I don't like that either. I love you. Hurry back, Jose. I love that guy. I appreciate that. Yeah, bikinis. I need to see the. And I don't want to see the alligators. I want to see the palm trees. I damn sure want to see a heart in 100. Shout out to Velocity County. Big Wigs, what's up, man? When in Florida, how do you deal with the heat and humidity? Good question. In your vehicle, especially at night while trying to sleep. Good question. It doesn't get bad until the summer months. June, July, August, and September are a disaster. I suffer. I have a battery-powered fan, but the bottom line answer is I suffer. Because I lived a cheap life, I pay a price of lack of climate control. I've gotten sick 3 years in a row, once in the summer, last summer in Florida, because I don't have climate control. I'm trying to upgrade, but I can't find something that's below my means and still gives me financial independence. I don't want to get trapped in the system again, but the cheap life sucks because you suffer a little bit. It's freeing financially, but you suffer. So the answer is you suffer. People look for videos of how do you stay cool in Florida in your vehicle during the summer. You don't. You suffer. And I pay a price. So that's the best honest answer. But I'm willing to do it, but I want to find something a little bit more comfortable at this point. But I didn't want to buy anything in Florida initially because I didn't visit it long enough, And even now, I really don't want to buy something. But the lack of resources, and at some point I got to bite the bullet to commit a little bit financially to something and get some more conveniences. But I got to be very intentional that the system doesn't trap me back into this way it's set up, Old Gringo, I feel most inspired when I live not more than 200 miles from the Mexican border. I'm not mad at that, but that's just me. No, I've seen some people like that. I even saw an old guy from Texas. He was the same way. He often said that. Like, that's what he liked. He liked a Mexican vibe. He liked to be by. Now, he voted for Trump. Go figure. But he liked to be by the Mexican border. And he liked New Mexico and southern Texas, too. Roberto, the humidity level is too high. It is. But I like humidity. Now, August and September suck in Florida, but I like humidity. I like the sauna. I hate the hot, dry heat. See, Old Gringo likes dry heat. I hate dry heat. I like sweat, man. Sweat releases toxins. I feel purified. I gotta be in South Florida. I like humidity. You know what I mean? But not at night when I'm sleeping. That's fair point. Old Gringo, I was in Fort Lauderdale about 10 years ago in the summer. It wasn't that bad, actually, the weather. It's bad in August and September. I could deal with every other month, but those 2 months, it's a disaster. Josh, hey, man, did the Jersey Shore make Jersey look overrated? No, that's exactly how it is. That's how it was when I was growing up, pretty much. But the second season of Jersey Shore, they went down to Miami. Okay. Jersey Shore, for those who never left Jersey, the Jersey Shore is tropical paradise. I almost got seduced to that. I once thought South Jersey was the South Beach of my life. Oh, what a fucking mistake that was. Excuse my language. But then I started to suffer through winters. I said, there's got to be more to life than the Jersey Shore. And just like Triple O, I got to get my ass out and I got to explore. I traveled up and down the East Coast. I said, well, maybe I'll find something in South Carolina. Nope. Maybe I'll find something in Pittsburgh. Nope. Maybe I'll find something in Vermont. Nope. Maybe I'll find something in St. Augustine. Nope. Southeast Florida. Not Miami Beach, just Southeast Florida. Why? Because I feel alive. Okay, like old Gringo feels alive by the Mexican border. I feel alive by the equator, by the Caribbean. My blood pumps Southeast Florida. Okay. Right now, I feel like I'm dying. Okay. I'm in North Jersey. Okay. It's a fucking disaster. So let's take pause. I gotta take a hydration break. Drop the mic, Frank Breeze, man. Thank you for all the support tonight, man. You blow my mind tonight, Frank. Thank you. Oh, Gringo. Love your passion. Stay, you guys. This is how, thank you, man. This is real as it gets tonight. Trying. Thank you, guys. Drop the mic emoji. Josh, hey, no, Mike. Oh, yeah, I read that. Rick, what's up, brother? Are you eating less than you can't hit the gym? No, look, my weight is maintained. When I got out of obesity, it took 3 years to lose 200 pounds. I didn't do it overnight. I developed good eating habits. Eating on the road, I spend a little bit more money than the average person. Why? Because I refuse to live cheap and let my physical health suffer. I've met some people that live on the road. They say, Sam, you spend way too much on food. I said, I have to eat healthy. Okay. Now, I eat a little bit more calories than the 2,000 calorie recommended. I'm moderately overweight. But when I'm in the gym, that moderately overweight is muscle. And I like that because I could be real skinny. I have the discipline to do it. For 3 years, I weighed 150 pounds. I could do it. I could do it again, but I don't want to because I like how I feel with a little bit more muscle. My body, I have a wide frame. But when I can't work out, even if I'm skinny and I look good, I don't feel good because I have to feel like muscle. And when I lost all that weight and I got down to 150 pounds, I was scared to eat. And so now, like, I'm living this cheap life. I'm scared to take on expense. But just like when I was anorexic, eventually I balanced my life out. So what I'm trying to tell you is eventually I'm going to balance out. I'm not always going to live this dirt cheap life. But I have to be very intentional. Because just like you have to be very intentional when you stop your fasting or you stop your extreme discipline to lose weight, you don't want to go back to eating Chick-fil-A every day. You don't want to go back to having cheat days on Sunday. Now, you don't want to go back to when for 3 years, all I ate was raw fruits and vegetables. Seriously, no joke. And anyone who knows me in real life, they know that is fact. But you get to a certain point in life, there's so much discipline where you got to enjoy life a little bit. You got to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so the problem with the cheap life is you're not really enjoying the fruits of your labor. But I don't want to go back on the hook where I have to labor in order to sustain a lifestyle. I'm trying to find a little bit of a middle ground while still living below my means, and it's tough. Let's continue. Old Gringo, why not live out of a van? More room. Because a van does not add the level of comfort that would be worth the sacrifice of getting a new vehicle. A van would not get me a shower or a gym. It would only get me more room. So it doesn't solve the problem. See how I'm being very intentional? If I wanted extra room to move around or to cook something or to put a bigger bed or to buy more clothes, a van would be sufficient. If I got a Class B that had a shower, and maybe room for some weights, then you could say maybe. But the cost of a Class B is almost as much as a home base. So it's like, does that really make sense? And then I still got to go to a campground. So a van, and also a van, just like a Class B, would take away a money resource with door dashing. So I would probably do better to get a small, cheap home base, keep a regular vehicle, still keep a source of revenue if I needed it. And with the home base, I could put a gym, I have a shower, and I don't have to. If I'm going to upgrade, I have to get away from the public a little bit. You know, I don't want to go to the gym and shower and work out amongst all the public. I don't want to have to go to the Starbucks to charge my electronics. I don't want to always be in the public. For 3 years, I mean, I spent time, in public gas stations and gyms and, so the value of adding something to my life at this point has this specific criteria: privacy, self-contained, and conveniences. A van only gives me a little bit more room. It doesn't give me the level of privacy I need. It doesn't give me the conveniences or the comforts that I'm looking for. So, like, I know you said you got what I was saying, but yeah, so that's a good question, though. Many people do ask me that. Josh, today is a beautiful sunny day in Chicago. Being a nomad makes you grateful for the little things. No, that's true. Look, when the nomad life is clicking, there's nothing freer. I totally accept that if I would ever get a home base, I sacrifice some freedom. There is nothing more freeing to the soul than being a full-time nomad. Nothing. However, you're never going to have all the conveniences of a comfortable life. Never. Especially not while all the resources are not open. The gyms, the restaurants that you use to charge your electronics. Because right now, even the gyms that are open, the showers aren't open. So you pay a price for being a nomad. I've been willing to pay that price. I still am until I find something right. There's a price for everything. There's a scripture that says, count the cost before you start to build. Because if you start to build and you don't count the cost, you'll be disillusioned. I had some people that watch my channel. They didn't count the cost of living in their car. They got in their car, didn't work out, and they say, I blame you. I said, get the fuck out of here. You blame me for what? And he goes, oh, because I didn't. Somebody was mentally immature. Okay. So everything has a price. Everyone is willing to pay a different price. You go into a store, everything has a different price tag. And there's a different buyer for everything in that store. Some things get sold out of. Some things are in high demand, some things not. But there's a different price tag for everything in that store. And every lifestyle is a different price tag. So you say, Sam, yeah, I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for anything. Then you go to Wawa, you go to a public gas station, and you get a plastic spoon that you don't have to pay for. So you say, Sam, there's no price for this plastic spoon that you get free from the gas station. And you're right. You can legally go in the public gas station and take this spoon. Never have to pay for silverware. So there's no price, right? You have to go to a gas station to get this. You're not in your home. You're not in privacy. You're paying a price for this. Everything has a price. And so what I could tell you, your privacy has a price. Like Stacy just asked me to message me privacy. I don't have any private message. YouTube is I had a Patreon, but I'm shutting that down. So that was the only place people go private message me. So I'm sorry, Stacy, I don't have a private message. As I become a public figure on YouTube, I value a level of my privacy. If I did buy a home base, I would never show too much of it. Because the price I'm willing... do you know the Kardashians? The house they show, the exterior, the outside of their house is not really their house that you see on the Kardashians. It's a fake house. They won't show you the real, because they value their privacy. I know a nomad that for 7 years, he's documented his life on YouTube. He showed people exactly where he lived. One time it was vandalized. Now he's selling those properties, and he's saying that the new house he buys, he'll never show anyone on YouTube. Why? Privacy. Privacy has a price. You say, Sam, I could free camp at Walmart or on BLM land, on public land. You're right, you can free camp. There's no price, right? The price is a lack of privacy. I've been free camping in Walmart or in a truck stop, and a dope fiend knocks on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. You have no privacy. Okay? So guys, everything has a price. Okay? Count the cost. Okay? And you go from there. Let's continue. Ryan B. Wow, showers are fully open at Anytime Fitness here. Really? We're in Utah? That's surprising. Well, I checked South Florida today. They said no. Maybe I'll have to check a few other ones. So that's interesting to know. I was willing to pay, and I'm still willing to pay $500 for the yearly membership at Anytime Fitness if they open up in South Florida before Planet Fitness. Now, also, Anytime Fitness, it costs more, but what I found is the gyms are more private. Planet Fitness is cheaper. Anytime Fitness is more expensive, so you have a cost difference. So the cheaper person, which I'm cheap, I bought the cheapest gym membership, and it's been a blessing. But the sacrifice is lack of privacy. Anytime Fitness, you got a little more privacy. The cheap life has a price. Triple O, what about saving money and living in a foreign country like southern Thailand? That rent and living expenses are cheap. It's cheap for a reason. That country basically is a land of poverty. Okay, so you've never gone there. I dated a girl from Thailand. What I can tell you is third world countries, and that's not even maybe a third world country, but underdeveloped countries, they're cheap for a reason. So Thailand and Camden, New Jersey are cheaper to live, but it's not as nice area to live. So for me, I don't want to leave America. I'm not saying everyone should follow my advice, but if you want to live in Thailand, my suggestion is go live there for a little bit, see if you like it. Rent, don't buy it. No, I have to leave. Thanks for this daily dose of wisdom. I love you, Norma. Thank you for your membership. Have a good night, all. I love you, Norma. Fred, good night, Norma. Down for Josh. Bye, Norma. Chris, what's up, man? How'd you get so wise? Well, thank you for the compliment. I think a level of insight I was born with. They always said I had an old soul. So I can't take full credit. I give the grace of God some of that. Some of it I've developed through research and failure, experience. And the final part of it, I've been willing to put myself out there and fail and put the effort into my life. So 1 is the grace of God, 2 is research, and 3 is I'm willing to do the work of my life. I think that would pretty much describe, the answer to that question. Thank you. Let's continue. Stacy, just found you. I don't know why. I don't know my dad. I'm ready to live in my car. Well, you got to go on your journey. So how are you going to get wise, Stacy? Okay. You're going to research, you're going to be willing to fail, and you're going to take accountability for how it goes. There's nothing I can tell you in a private message that isn't on a YouTube video. There's thousands and millions of YouTube videos about how to live in a car, how to get an address, how to stay hot, how to stay cold. So what I'm telling you is do all that research. That's what I did. I am not going to be disingenuous. I'm going to tell you everything I did. What did I do? I watched all those videos. I never private messaged Bob Wells. I watched all the videos. I never private messaged Nomadic Fanatic. Just watch those videos. I didn't want to be part of a club. Okay, I didn't go to be part of the RTR. I just said, this is the public information. I did my own research, and then I tried and failed. My first night, I went to a rest stop and a cop knocked on my door. Okay. I did a video about it. It's on YouTube for you to watch and lessons learned. So, what I'm trying to say, Stacy, and love to you, is that if you're going to live your best life, whether it's in your car, in an apartment, or in a mansion, there's no private session with the pastor, there's no private session with the therapist that is going to tell you what you need to hear. What you need to hear is your own voice. If you can't hear your own voice, you're not at the point where you're ready to live independent. Because your independence comes with a price. You're tired of living with your parents? You're tired of living in a shelter? You're tired of living with a roommate? It comes with a price. The price is you got to put in the work. The cheap life has a price. The independent life has a price. Being a YouTuber has a price. If you don't pander to the crowd, you may get a nasty reaction. Everything has a price. Be yourself. Look in the mirror. Take accountability and go after it. That's the most loving thing I can say to anyone. The worst thing I can say to someone is like some of these people that have bot YouTube channels. They spam the comment section with wannabe friends. I don't want to be friends, guys. And I'm not saying that literally to people. What I'm saying is, if you're going on a journey for your best life, if someone cares about you, if you care about yourself, if you respect yourself, you don't fucking join men going their own way. They're a bunch of fucking losers. They want to be friends with other fucking losers. Okay? You take accountability for your life. You start doing the work. Okay? Whether it's your weight, whether it's your mind, whether it's your job, you do the fucking work. Okay? Now, if that doesn't sit right with you, you got to go on your own journey, because it sits right with me, inspires me. Okay. What I would tell anyone out there, you are not responsible for someone else's inspiration. And everyone that puts you on the hook to be responsible for their inspiration, they're a destroyer, not a builder. They're a spiteful person, not an encourager. They're a deceiver. They want to be friends. Guys, friends will backstab you. Okay. Are there good people in this world? Of course, man. But no one, even the good people, can do the work of your life. I had good people in my life at times. Good relationships. But no one could do the work of my life. My mom, no one loves me more in this world than my mom. She couldn't make me lose 200 pounds. She actually tried to feed me more unhealthy stuff. There's a certain part of your life that no one can do for you but you, including your parents, including your mentor, including your pastor, including your therapist. And until you accept that, you go on this, you're like a dog chasing the tail. You go in a circle. And that's what I'm talking about. You got to be so intentional in life, because life is a vicious cycle. Whether you're trading stocks, you're trading boyfriends and girlfriends, you're trading YouTube comments, you're trading emails, you're trading text messages. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, if you haven't changed your number yet, you ain't ready to change your life. I know some people, they got the same number for 10, 20 years. Their life's a disaster. No one should have your phone number other than 5 people in your personal life. Your Fab 5. Why? Because you need to be focused on what's important to you. And when you got too many voices clouding your personal time, you can lose your way. What happens after every divorce? I lost myself. I've met many people that got divorced in life. And there's a common thing that they tell me in the midst of all their pain. They lost themselves. You can lose yourself so easy in this world. Almost happened to me a couple times. So, be careful. Now, let's continue. Pluto, what's up? Again, thank you, man, for everything. Much love, Sam, from Tariq and I. was always thinking about you both, man. I came to visit Tariq here in Reading, PA. Oh, my God, man. You know it's a disaster, man. I ain't got to tell you, man. Shout out to you and Tariq. Stacey? Oh, I'm in Indiana right now watching, excuse me. She goes, I'm in Indiana right now, born in Illinois, grew up in California. Stacey, in my opinion, if you've done the work and the research, get the hell out of Indiana. Go to California. But, again, everyone has their different place that makes them happy. You have to go on a journey. But best of luck to you on yours. Pluto, you inspire us all, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Gina, what's up, man? Sammy, how are you, man? Is there a legal way to migrate to the United States? Question mark. I'm tired of Israel. I want to live peaceful. Yeah, there's two ways. You can marry Donald Trump. You get a visa. But I know a couple people that married a girl from Thailand. They married, or they came from overseas. They married some big American chick. So what I could tell you is, look, yeah, you could marry some big-ass chick from America that wants your dick and maybe wants your child, but you're going to pay a price. What's the legal way to come to America? I wish I could tell you. My grandparents came from Ellis Island. They came from Italy to Ellis Island. Ellis Island is a museum now. So there's a legal way to do it. I don't know the ins and outs, so I don't want to give you false information. Again, I know people that, look, they just married an American to get in, truth be told, but they paid a price. So now you say, Sam, if you were in Israel or if you were in Thailand and you wanted to be an American, because I want to come to South Florida. So this is what I tell you, Gina. Find you some big chick in South Florida. Big as hell, man. Okay? You go on Tinder. What's the other one I heard? Hinge? Hinge is the new one I heard. You find the biggest, greasiest chick you can meet, but let her be from Southeast Florida. Okay? You get married, man. Okay? You become a stripper / prostitute. And then you get a divorce as soon as you can. Okay? Now, do I recommend that if you got no other option? Because I'd be a hypocrite to say if I was in a desperate situation in another country and I wanted to get to Southeast Florida, would I marry? I may. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, but if you have the money and if you do the research and how to legally migrate here, I would. I think we should have built a new Ellis Island instead of building a wall, okay? I'm okay with securing our borders, but why don't we have an Ellis Island? Why don't we have a place where people can legally come in and have a quick process to do it legally? Because we really don't care. We don't care about people wanting to live a better life. That's what I think. There's plenty of room in America. Plenty of, guys, there's plenty of room in Florida. You know all the open country land in Florida? There's tons of it. But people are nasty and they're selfish and they don't want to, So look at the legal way. Try the legal way first. And if you got some money, spend the money. Don't be cheap to get to America. But go to Southeast Florida immediately. Don't come to America and go to Illinois. Or don't go to Wisconsin. Or don't go to Indiana. Don't go to Montana. Go to Southeast Florida. Okay. Are there going to be nasty people in Southeast Florida? Yeah. I had someone the other day. He thought I was Jewish and he said a nasty Jewish remark to me. Okay. He was an entitled old American from the country land of Florida. Okay. Would I told him go fuck himself. Okay. Guys, there's still nasty people in America. Whether they're going to say something nasty to you because of your race, your religion, your culture, whatever. That's why I tell you, you got to go and find where you're home at. I would never buy a piece of property with someone next to me with a Confederate flag. Does that mean they're racist? They have a Confederate flag? No, but it's a mindset. That's not my culture. Now, I would never, buy a cheap home base in an area that had a trap house right next to me. Why? I don't want to live like that. So what I try to tell you guys is you got to go on a journey. Okay. And like I got AJ, he lives full-time in his Prius. He's renting a place right now. There's a big Jewish community in Miami Beach. And he says, Sam, if I move anywhere, I'm going to move here because I feel like at home. See, for me, I was brought up Catholic, but I don't fuck with a lot of Catholics. I don't fuck with a lot of Christians. I don't fuck with a lot of people. So to me, it really don't matter like what religion someone tells me there is. Don't really matter to me what race someone tells me there is. What do I care about? I care about positive people and a hot environment. Okay. I like diversity. Okay. And that's why I like Southeast Florida. But what happens is a lot of times when people migrate here, like my grandparents migrated from Italy, what'd they do? They went to a part of New Jersey where there was a high Italian population. Like most of Newark, New Jersey used to be all Italians. Okay. So that's what happens with every ethnic group. They migrate over here. They don't have a lot of resources. They stay close to their culture, or they define their culture as their ethnicity and their same religion, etc. Like I got a viewer, Sonia, she's Indian. There's been, in the course of the past 10 years, there's been a big Indian migration into New Jersey. Okay, I got a lot of great friends, Indians. Okay, I never had sex with Indian, but a couple Pakistani girls I like. But she struggles with her mom wants to put her in an arranged marriage because it's still heavy in the Indian culture. Okay. But I tell her, don't fucking get married to someone just because they're Indian. What kind of sense that make? Don't fuck around and do that. I don't care if the divorce rates are lower. So, a lot of times people migrate to an area that looks familiar. But that's not wisdom. Because there's a lot of things that look familiar to me that don't inspire me. That don't sit well with my soul. Okay? Because to me, I'm not trying to get a convert. Okay? To me, I'm not trying to be anything other than my best self. Okay? And for some people, it's never good enough. Okay? And you know what? A lot of times they're going to be people that you thought were in your corner. Okay? So, bottom line is you'll be lucky in this world, okay, if you find a couple good friends, maybe on one hand. Okay. I had a good friend, okay, that's West Indian. I had a good friend that was Haitian, a good friend that was Irish, a good friend that was Indian. Okay. Guys, I could count on my hand how many people have my personal cell phone number. And even the good people that have it, I spend 99.9% of my time by myself. So there's a part of life that you can't be cheap in trying to figure out what it's going to take to live your best life, because there's a lot of sacrifice. But with regards to your specific question, yeah, I mean, I kind of answered it the best way I could, and then I went into a rant. But hopefully it helped a little bit. All right, let's take a hydration break. I need some hydroxychloroquine after that one. I'm tired, man. Thank you guys again for all the love tonight, man. I really appreciate that. Let's continue to read. Brenda, preach, my brother. Well, thank you very much, Brenda. Stacy, are you true? I will help any way I can if someone is true. Well, no one's, no one's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, put no one on a pedestal. Don't put your lover, don't put your dog, don't put anyone on a pedestal. We'll all let you down. I'll let you down. So you're going to let me down. The bottom line is just try to be your best self. Try to be as positive as you can in society. Okay, obviously, if you're in a position to help someone, you help. If you can't help them, at least try to call the authorities. Okay, and you just try to live a peaceful life. Other than that, like, is this person great? Look, like they even said to Jesus, they said, Jesus, you're good. Jesus says, who's good? Only God's good, man. And, it's debatable about what God is. Because sometimes I say, God, you made this world? I say, God, you made New Jersey? God, you made New Jersey? Okay, so, come on. A lot of Pluto. I add you subscribe to your channel. Well, thank you. I just did that. Oh, you did that to Pluto. Pluto's a good guy. Pluto says, much love, Lila. Pluto, I did, bro. Yeah. You saw that video I made for you, Airbnb. Pluto, thanks. I heard you mention me. Yeah, I thought about you. Pluto, you are the best. Shout out to you and Tariq. Josh, going to watch the Airbnb video. This is a good one, man. Today, Nomad Bin wanting to try it out. Yeah, try it out. Again, got to be very, very careful because, you can't get caught in only do a couple days at a time to make sure you don't get trapped in a bad situation. Brenda, heart, watermelon, and music emoji. I like all those things to you. Thank you. I'm in Texas. Shout out to you. And I love it. I'm not mad at that. I'm happy you're happy. Come here. Yeah, I'm not mad at Texas. It's not tropical. It's hot, but it's not tropical. So I don't know if I'll come to Texas, but I appreciate your offer and I appreciate your emojis. Moneyman 2800. I like the name. Sammy, my prediction is the kids nowadays are getting smarter and saying no to college. Kids need to work with their hands in the next 10 years. Well, I disagree with the second part. Average college will shutter. They don't need to work with their hands. They need to work with their computers. Okay, because there's always going to be a need for working with your hands construction. But there's a bigger need for working with a computer. If you take away your kid's smartphone, you are hurting them, not helping them. So even if you work in Home Depot, you got to know how to work a computer to inventory stuff. Okay. Construction, construction's a young man's game. Now, I work construction. First 10 years of my career, I did construction, heavy construction. Okay. In oil refineries, in pharmaceutical plants, in ditches, disaster. Okay. But I sacrificed to build my career. But as soon as I could, I got the hell out of it. Okay. So I think it's wisdom if you wanted to get a trade, but don't get stuck in the trade. Like I remember when I was just getting out of the trade, I went into a maintenance position in a technology building, a building where it was based on technology. Okay. As far as it's like a data center. Okay. So we were in charge of maintaining the equipment. And the manager, this was like one of my first managers after leaving the construction industry. My manager said to me, Sam, I see you're diligent, you're intelligent, you stay out of drama. Guys, you can excel in anything if you show up and you stay out of drama. Now, if you put a little effort and you research, you can even go a little bit further. And he goes, but where you're getting stuck is, I want to give you more responsibility, but you're just thinking like an electrician. He goes, Sam, if you want to be a manager, you can't just think like an electrician. You have to think like the plumber. You have to think like the CEO. You have to think like the investor. You have to think like the project coordinator. You have to think beyond your trade. I know many people that joined a trade and they were tradesmen their whole life. My dad actually resented the fact that I went beyond being a tradesman. Okay, so it's an amazing thing. Like people tell you to be something and then you go beyond that and they resent you a little bit. It's true. So I do think you should learn a skill set. I got trapped though because I learned a skill. I got paid more money and then I bought more stuff. And then I had to keep doing things I hated. I hated working with my hands, but I had to do it to support the lifestyle I created. So now I live cheap as hell. So if I get laid off, I can still live a lifestyle. However, the price I pay for living cheap is I don't have the comforts, the privacy, and the convenience of some things homeowners or renters have. Okay. I can't take a shower when I want. I can't work out when I want. I can't have privacy when I want. I can't walk around in a robe when I want. I pay a price. So, what I would tell any young person, you need some education. You need some certifications. You need a lot of work experience. So, if you don't have work experience, don't worry about getting another degree. If you haven't shown, I don't care if it's Walmart or Wall Street, if you haven't shown up at the same job for at least 2 years and stayed out of drama, you'll never be able to do anything. There's exceptions to every rule. There's great people that have gotten fired, but there are exceptions. Michael Jordan got cut from the high school basketball team. But guys, how many people who get cut from the high school basketball team become to be the greatest player ever? Very few. The odds are against you. Okay. So guys, there's exceptions, but there's the averages. And then there's the below averages. I've met some people that I used to resent in my family that never work, that collect Social Security, disability, and collect food stamps, okay? But what I've learned is that's just who they are. And there's some rich people that scam the system on the top. I don't look down on anyone. Whether they're the rich Wall Street bankers that just got a bailout through the Federal Reserve buying junk bonds, or they're at the low end of the spectrum, they're getting food stamps and they want another $1,200 stimulus. I don't begrudge anyone because it's all a game. I don't get caught in other people's games. I'm trying to live my best life while not getting caught in the system. You got to play the game a little bit, though. I play the game, guys. Like, I talk very passionate in these videos. I give you guys a lot of different things, but you have to play the game a little bit. I abide by the laws. I had someone message me the other day that said, Sam, I want to park in an apartment complex and sleep in my car. I want to park in a hospital and sleep in my car. I said, you can do that. It's not legal. So you can get yourself in trouble, but you got to be careful. No, I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's not my style. Rick S., $10 super chat. Damn it, brother. Thank you. Rick S., thank you, brother, for the tip. Savant, my trucker out there, man. Member. Love to you guys, man. You've been very gracious to me, Rick. Thank you. And Savant, my member, I know he said he trades stocks. I trade stocks. He'll destroy your mental health. I will never begrudge anyone for trading stocks. This is what I tell you if you're going to trade stocks. Have another source of income. Whether you're a trucker, a door dasher, or whatever. Another source of steady income. Get a 12-month emergency fund. Never touch it. Pay off your debt and then trade stocks. That way, if you lose everything in your brokerage account, you don't go broke mentally. There's going to be times where you get squeezed out. There's going to be times where you get squeezed out of your position, okay? And you don't want to be over-leveraged. Rick S., thank you. Frank, thank you. Thank you for everyone showing me support on the channel tonight, watching. Thank you for those who clicked the thumbs up. Thank you for my members that have that green symbol next to them. If you want to support the channel, yeah, you could be a member. You could just watch, and I appreciate those who super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. I don't take it for granted. Tanali, forgive me for saying the name wrong. Try the Arctic Air on Amazon, $40. Have you tried it? I know a couple of nomads that tried it and it sucks. And it doesn't keep you cool in the Florida heat. It may keep you cool in like the summer in Utah. So I don't know where you live. I don't know if you've tried it, but I know people who've tried it in Florida and it sucks. So I would tell people don't waste their money, but to each their own. Thank you for the comment, man. Thank you for the suggestion. Frank, yeah, he dropped the mic. Thank you, brother, for the membership. Thank you for all the tips tonight, Frank. Thank you for the drop the mic custom emoji for being a member. Thank you, brother. Old Gringo, love your passion. Stay you. Thank you. Don't forget, I'm able to be myself on YouTube, too, because, I live below my means. Now, because YouTube, if you're yourself, you're going to lose people. I lose a lot of people. And so it's a tough thing, Brenda. But you're better to be yourself. Look, in a creative way such as YouTube, you want to be yourself. Because what's the point of being a YouTuber if you're not going to be yourself? Now, you can play the game of YouTube where you're just looking at it as a business. And it's not about being yourself. It's about marketing. Now, I play a little bit of that game, but I don't play it to the point where I lose myself. So, it's like everything else in life. Whether you work construction, you work in the corporate world, or you work in a creative venture. There's part of the game you have to play, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's part of life. Life's a little bit of a game. And you can play the game honestly. Guys, I played sports. You can play an honest game. But there's times when your coach asks you to do something in the game that doesn't sit well with you. Like, I got in an argument one time with one of my coaches. Okay, he wanted me to do something unethical or agree with it. I didn't agree. And I paid a price. Okay. So, you got to remember all those things, guys. Brenda, you will sweat in Texas. Yeah, but I won't be by the Caribbean vibe. I'll be in a country vibe. But it's your body natural sweat. Yeah, I got to be juiced up in the Caribbean vibe, though. I'm originally from Chicago. Well, Texas better than Chicago. It's wide open here. No, it's a big state. But it's not, it doesn't have an international vibe. It doesn't have a Caribbean vibe. It doesn't have luscious palm trees, and it doesn't have the Atlantic Ocean. So I don't want to be disrespectful of Texas. And again, I appreciate the invite, but I'm not like a cowboy. I'm not the Gulf of Mexico guy. I'm not like a cactus guy. I'm a lush palm tree La Plata, okay, which stands for land of Florida, okay, a land of flowers, okay. Florida is Spanish for land of flowers. Texas is American for wiener. I think something like that. Texas wiener, something like that. But guys, I don't want to work on an oil refinery. I worked in oil refineries in New Jersey. Guys, no. I gotta be in Southeast Florida, man. I love you. Frank, what's your favorite number? I don't know if I have a favorite number. Like I guess I stutter a little bit in saying that because I try not to be superstitious. I guess it's individual. I was watching a thing on Drazen Petrovic, who was a great European NBA basketball player that played in New Jersey Nets. He was number 3. That's a good number. I don't know. But I guess I don't know if it matters, Gringo hydration break. Thank you. Tomasco at Brendan. I lived in Central Texas. Frank, damn it, Frank, man, you're being too generous, man. A lot of people are fake. Being yourself is priceless. Well, it is. Again, Frank, you're being way too generous, man. And thank you. That's all I can tell you. But there is a balance, okay? So I'm very intense in my live feeds and sometimes in my videos. I'm very diplomatic at my job and in society. Like, I'm not Donald Trump yourself, where when I'm responsible for a shared environment, I'm diplomatic, guys. I'm direct. But I know how to be direct but diplomatic. Now, on YouTube, it's a creative platform. I take more liberties in being way more boisterous and passionate because it's a creative platform. But I'm never this boisterous in Starbucks. Why? Because I'm in a shared environment. There could be someone next to me with a Trump 2020 shirt on. Am I going to I'm not going to say anything negative about Trump in front. I respect their voice. They're in a shared environment. Okay. So I want you to understand being yourself is priceless. But I want you to also understand there is a protocol for every environment. In the shared public environment, I respect that there's other opinions and other ways, and I'm a peacekeeper. Okay. I'm a diplomat. I'm not a panderer. I always try to be honest and direct with people, but I understand there's a way to do it in a certain environment. On a conference call, I'm not going to tell people I'm going to kick rocks if you don't like, you know what I mean? So always remember that. The protocols for environments. Okay. And, that'll take you far in life. Tomasco says, at Brenda, I lived in Central Texas when I was in the Army. Great state, great people. Brenda, Sam, when I get the land in Texas, you are always welcome. Well, thank you for the generous offer. Always welcome to be free, and God bless you. To stay free. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Look, there has been some good people. Brenda, that's a great thing. Frank's been generous tonight. All my people in here. There was a guy from Canada, Brent. When the coronavirus hit, he stays in Canada. He offered a place in Florida that he owns for me to stay. Now, I didn't take him up on that offer because I'm a loner. I would only ask for help if I was in a dire emergency, as far as like staying in someone's house or something like that. That's just how I am. I'm by my mother. I don't stay in my mom's house. I go visit her. I stay in my car. I'm a loner. So, but I want to pause to acknowledge, I do believe there's some good-hearted people out there. Now, I believe if I lived with Brenda, we would get in a fight. If I lived with my mom, I would get in a fight with my mom. So I don't want to be like disingenuous when saying like there's good people. But I don't want to be cynical or saying there are people that will help you if you really needed it. There's a balance, okay? And so In life, you try to remember these things to keep you kind of in a mind frame where you don't become George Carlin. Like George Carlin was a truth teller, but he also got a little cynical. Now, at times I get cynical and I keep it real, but I also want to remain hopeful because, guys, like, it's not that bad. It's a balance. You know what I mean? Let's continue. Big wigs. I had lived in Florida all my life and decided to move to Chicago in December. Okay. I lasted less than 2 months in the icy wasteland. Yeah. If you move to Chicago in the winter, yeah, you move right back down to Florida. I agree with that. Rick S. asked, does my mom watch my YouTube channel? No. My mom doesn't know I have it, and I don't tell her because I want some privacy. I just got my mom a smartphone for the first time in her life 2 weeks ago, so she can barely use it still. So she don't really know how to work YouTube, and she probably ain't looking up how to live in a car. But when I had a nonprofit organization in New Jersey, I had a radio show. I would pay the radio. It was an AM radio program. I would pay to go on once a week to give a message because they didn't really have like YouTube then. And my mom would listen to that. And I remember she said, Sam, I'm going to have my aunt, which is her sister, I'm going to have her listen. She goes, what are you going to talk about in tonight's program? I said, well, I'm talking about masturbation. And she goes, oh my God. Yeah, so, again, like there's things I talked about with you guys. Like I don't really talk about with my mom. You know what I mean? So, and there's some things that your mom's just better off not knowing. I don't want to make my mom worry. You know what I mean? So, like there's a lot of times, like there's a lot of stuff that happen. I don't tell my mom. I don't want to make her worry. So, good question. Let's continue. Pluto, Sam, I have a question that has been on my mind. Okay. Since I became a nomad, I have been troubled by the thought that I am less than other people. How can I get over that stupid thought? Good question. For me, I never had that thought because I kind of always have been blessed with a level of self-confidence, and I really focused on self-care before I became a nomad. But I got to be honest, I always had something in me, even at a young age, that there was something in me that I don't give a fuck what other people think. So I'm human. Okay, I'm human, so I'm not going to say like I'm invincible. So I think part of that is just some people are born more confident than others. I think self-care will supplement a level of self-confidence that you may have not been born with. And then I think staying around positive people, and when you can't find anyone positive, just keep to your privacy, will supplement a level of embarrassment. So God-given self-care and keep a level of privacy will keep your mental health in a state that will allow you to work on yourself to push past the boundaries that society does put up through peer pressure. The reason people start to smoke cigarettes is peer pressure. And I fell into that trap when I was young too, and it wasn't evil people, they just were repeating a cycle. So, you got to really get past the peer pressure of life, and through self-care and self-discovery and research and the grace of God, you can do it. Frank, did you hear the news of Joe Rogan channel going on Spotify? No, I didn't hear that. Yeah, I watch him from time to time, but I'm not surprised. He's one of the biggest podcasters out there. So, that's good. He's an overall reasonable person that provides a balanced platform. So I think he's a valuable person to society. Again, I don't agree with him on all the things, but people don't agree with me on all things. So at the end of the day, I think he's valuable to society where he provides a somewhat balanced platform for a variety of perspectives to be heard. Love to you, Pluto. Old Gringo. I see about the van. Yeah, he asked me about why not a van, and I answered that. Thank you, Old Gringo. Lila, Money Man, I just subscribed to you. Well, thank you for supporting. Wild Colorado. What's up, guys? What's up, man? Becoming a nomad soon. Looking forward to it. Well, best of luck to you, Wild Colorado. Love to you, man. Josh, Laughing Nomad. They blamed you. They did. Never be friends with someone on YouTube that once you click on their channel, their backdrop behind their avatar is the city skyline of Hong Kong. There is one common denominator of a lot of mentally disturbed people on YouTube. If you click on their channel, the backdrop, like if you click on my channel, the backdrop are a pair of sunglasses and like a perspective, like all these different artistic things. If you click on their channel, the background is a city skyline. And I researched the city skyline. It's the city skyline of Hong Kong. They don't even know it's Hong Kong. They're mentally disturbed. There's been some good people in here that have that profile that have commented. But I've also got pissed with them at times. I don't know what it is. They must at the psych ward. I guess they say like, look, this is the background that everyone with mental problems puts. Because it never fails. I'll get some strange comment and I click on the avatar to see their channel and it's the same damn backdrop. The city skyline. I don't know if it's the same person with a million different profiles or everyone that went to the same psych ward. But they fucking got it. And I've lost some viewers that supported me. And I'm telling you right now, you may be in here, you may support me, and you may have that. I gotta be myself. I tried to hold that back for months, but it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if anyone in this chat knows why every psychopath on YouTube has that backdrop, let me know. Because I want to know why. I asked someone in here, why do you have that profile? They didn't give me an answer. They laughed. So let's continue. Josh. I don't know what they love, Pluto. They love something else. Josh, they must be complete psychopath. Oh, yeah. Welcome to YouTube. Stacy, message me. I don't think so. I love you. I am going to live in my car, okay? And I just can't afford living by myself. With sleeping in my car, can shower at the truck stop. If you can't afford to rent a room, you can't afford to live in your car. Renting a room is cheaper than living in your car. Gangster Talk, $4.99 super chat. Do electronics like laptops and tablets get ruined if you leave them in your car in heat? Well, I've never had my laptop get ruined. My phone overheats if it's on the dashboard, and I don't leave my laptops on my dashboard in the summer heat in Florida. So as long as you keep them in your back seats, I got tents on my back. As long as they're not on your dashboard, you should be good. If they're on your dashboard, they may get overheated. Love to you, Gangster Talk. Thank you for the love, man. Shout to you. But I want to say to Stacy and anyone out there living dirt cheap because you're in poverty, don't live in your car. Renting a room. I have a family member that's never worked in their life. They get food stamps. They get subsidized housing. They can rent a place that's advertised for $1,000 a month. They only have to pay 30%. They only have to pay $300 a month. You could get subsidized housing and live way cheaper than in your car. And if you don't have the mindset to have a job, in my opinion, unless you're retired or independently wealthy, don't live in your car. Now, there's exceptions. I met some people on disability living in their car. So, again, I'm giving you a general rule. But I'm telling you right now, if you're in poverty, don't live in your car, get subsidized housing, or rent a room. Because if you can't work, your dreams don't work. And in my opinion, being in poverty and living in your car is going to be a nightmare. Not freeing. Because gas costs, food costs, you're constantly moving. If you don't have a mind to work, you don't have a mind to adapt. That's my opinion. If you've DoorDashed, okay. But I'm being honest because I know what the road is. Okay. The road is not a place for everyone to live. I'm trying to tell you the truth. So let's take out just old gringo. Anything in the first 5 years of my life, I could blame on my parents. But after I start to think of myself, I blame me. You take accountability for your life. That's the first step forward. Good job, old gringo. Stacy, please message me. That ain't gonna happen. I just broke down exactly what you need to hear. I love you. I respect you. And if you respect yourself, you understand what I just said. Brenda, nothing wrong with cheap as long as it's quality. I personally have not, I respect what you said, that yes, you can find things that are cheaper that that have a level of quality. So noted. But I want to make the statement also that a lot of times things are cheap for a reason. You can rent a room for $300 in Fort Lauderdale because it's in a bad neighborhood. Okay. You can rent an RV park for $250 in Okeechobee because there's Confederate flags and, dogs running all over the park. So sometimes it's cheap for a reason. Okay. Sometimes you're overpaying for quality. You got to balance the two. Stacy, I love you. We just broke it down. I have a phone number. Don't need it. Don't want it. And I don't want to give anyone mine, but I love you and I respect you. Stacy, you're giving a lot of personal information out. You're just destroying your life. Stacy, I love you. Don't give out your email address to, you don't know who's on this live chat. If I was you, I would delete that comment. You can retract that comment. There's someone right now with a Hong Kong profile, city skyline. They're going to send you crazy emails. Now, maybe you're that person. You're trying to seduce me into giving you information. I've met people like that too. Guys, I ain't falling for the banana and tailpipe. Okay. So all I can tell you is keep your information private and you may be better off renting a room. Stacy, yes, I'm okay with that. Oh, Ringo. I never private messaged Bob Wells. That's true. But I did comment and ask a question on his live feed. Well, I did, and I began to troll Bob Wells. And someone put me in my place. They said, Sam, well, they didn't know my name, but they said, look, if you don't like him, why are you on this channel? And I said, you know what? They're right. If I don't have something good to say about him, I should just not comment. And I stopped commenting. That's true. Stacy, you're awesome. I love you. I need more of your wisdom. You need more of yourself. There's only one person you need more of in this world, and that's yourself. Okay, so if I'm doing my job is to motivate you to work on yourself. Because that's the greatest calling on your life. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a manipulation. Okay? You don't need to meet me in the middle of the desert to talk about free camping. Okay? You need you more than anyone else. And if you haven't found yourself, you're going to have to do like I did. You're going to have to get involved in a support system, whether it's a church, it's therapy, whatever it is. And you got to do the work. Okay? Because there's no shortcuts to changing your life. You know what I mean? You got to do the work. Okay? So, love to you. Stacy? Yes, 66,000 miles in 10 months in QB Circle. Okay. Old Gringo. My number gets changed about every 2 years. Something less. I like that. Old Gringo. Lala. Stacy, add you subscribe. Love to you. Pluto, I love you. Stacy. Oh my God, you're awesome. I love you. I hope you still love me. Old Gringo. My 3 times great grandparents came from, forgive me saying the name wrong, Prussia. Excuse me, brother. And I arrived to the Republic of Texas through Port Galveston. Okay. A month after they arrived, the U.S. annexed Texas. Okay. Thank you, brother, for sharing your story. Stacy, laughing good. Laughter's good for the soul. Triple O. There's plenty of room in America, but I would rather see animals and nature than people. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad. Look, I've been in the middle of the country land. Okay. And I've seen alligators. I've seen deer. They're nice. But you ain't door dashing in the middle of the country. You ain't going to the grocery store. You ain't going to the gym. So once you get a smell of that cow manure, you may say, well, I don't want to live in a city, but I may not want to live next to farmland. So you got to experience life until you find out what's the best environment. Gina, thanks, Sam. You're the best. Love you. I'm seriously thinking about it. I migrate to Israel from Russia when I was 8. Okay. So I give credit to anyone who's changed countries. That's a big thing. It was a big mistake. Well, we all make them, but it wasn't my decision. Yeah, I could respect that, brother. But you obviously have a level of adaptation if you've changed cultures. Frank, man. Damn, love to you, brother. Thank you, Frank, for all the support. Thank you for being a member. And thank you for all these tips tonight, man. Which food place to eat at Florida is your favorite? I like the Fresh Market. The Fresh Market is a higher end grocery store like Whole Foods. I like Publix. I don't go to any restaurants. I'm not a restaurant guy. But I'll go to like it's called like the Fresh Market. I'll get like a fresh salad bar or like coconut shrimp. But I don't go to restaurants. I'm not my thing. But there's tons of different restaurants in South Florida if that's what you want. But I just like healthy, higher end, like Whole Foods type food. And that's where I'm not cheap because, again, I've been obese And I don't want to I want to eat healthy, but my general place to go on a day in, day out basis is Publix. The higher end place I go is like the Fresh Market, or they have Sprouts. Sprouts is good. That's like, again, a Whole Foods. So places like that. Thank you, Frank, again for all your support tonight. Really appreciate that, man. Forgive me, where are we at? Kevin Rocks, what's up, man? Use common sense and gut level street smarts. End science. I agree with your comment, but I want to put end science. What is science? Science is the collecting of data, studying it, and forming a conclusion. Now, you don't want all science, but you don't want all gut instinct, okay? Because gut instinct will avoid the data. Now, you don't want to be just science and have no common sense. You want to balance all three, and you want to have some street smarts, okay? You want to be a well-rounded, well-informed person. If you just go by your gut, you're going to destroy your life, okay? You're going to be prideful, okay? And you're going to trade the wrong stock. You're going to be the wrong president. If you just go by science, you're not going to respect the fact that you can't measure everything in data. You have to balance your life. That's true. Good job. Blue Jeans, hello to you, Blue Jeans. Shout out to you and your husband moving from Michigan to Florida very soon. Old gringo. God made New Jersey and put the Lenny Lapani. I don't know what that means. People there. I don't know what that means. Old gringo. New Jersey is an old English place that after Jersey in the United Kingdom. It was named after something from the United Kingdom. New Jersey was called Lampahoking by the Rapadani Lalapini tribe. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I know that Florida was originally settled by the Spaniards, the Spanish. You know, the Native Americans were here, then the Spanish came over and they took over Florida first before the Europeans. And then there was a couple fights with them and the Europeans. And that's why Florida is called La Floratia or whatever. It's land of the flowers in Spanish. So, yeah, there's always been a tug of war with the colonization of the world, with Europe and then other parts of it. But look, guys, don't matter if you live in Saudi Arabia, okay, or San Antonio, Texas. Bottom line is money and power rules the world. Religion, politics are used to control the people, okay? There's some countries that are better than others as far as liberties, rights, economic opportunities. America for many years has been a beacon, not the only one, but one beacon, that there's a level of opportunity. There's still corruption. There's still misguidedness. You know, America itself, for most of the years, didn't even follow the Constitution. You know, we had slaves. We had gender inequality. You weren't allowed to be a woman and vote until like 1960 or something like that. So, guys, when America says they love the Constitution, guys, you know how many times we amended the Constitution? Because it wasn't always what it said it was. So, America has good and bad. Other countries have good and bad. America may have more good than bad. And that's why my grandparents came here. Okay. So, none of us are alone. We're all humanity. Doesn't matter where you're born, what your background, we're human. And one good part about the coronavirus, it showed us that we're all human. And we all need each other to a certain extent, and then all of us have to go on our own individual journey to another extent. K. Smith, $2 super chat. I'm so obese, 350. That's exactly how much I used to weigh. I feel embarrassed walking outside. I did too, but you know what I did? K. Smith, I'll tell you exactly what I did at 250 pounds. I put on some bright green men leggings, some men like compression, and I walked my big ass out there every night for a couple years. And some people laughed at my big ass. I look big as hell. And I even had a neighbor one time. I said, yeah, I'm getting in shape. I'm getting big. And one of my mates said, yeah, will you get more round? Fuck him. So what I can tell you is this. Sarcasm is the seed of disrespect. He voted for Trump. So what I could tell you is this, guys. If you're obese and you're embarrassed, I understand it because I've been that way. I also am honest. I've always been born, even when I was obese, I didn't give a shit what other people thought. So I can't take credit for that mindset, but I also put in the work. My advice to anyone who's embarrassed to go for a walk at night. Go for a walk at night. As long as you're not in a bad neighborhood, go for a walk at night. Go for a walk early in the morning. No one's out. Listen to your music and go for a walk. Change your life. Slowly drink more water. Stop eating out as much. You can't outwalk a bad diet. You have to change your food habits, but you have to start slow. It's like getting off a drug. You got to wean yourself off the Chick-fil-A. Start with cooking home more. You can still have Doritos. You can still have Cheetos. You can still cook nasty food, but just cook home more. Then start to take away some of the butter. Start to take away some of the chips. And progressively build over time. Love to you. Gringo says, I can't stand Trump there. I read it out loud. Yeah, no, look, I didn't vote for Trump. I have some good people in here that they love Trump, and I respect that. I know they get upset when I bash Trump. I don't think that Joe Biden is God or that much better. But I don't think that giving corporate tax cuts, we went into deficit to give the corporations tax cuts. Then we went into emergency. We just printed $5 trillion in debt more. Some of the biggest social programming to bail out the corporations again. The regular people only got $1,200. We could have universal health care and universal basic income. The debate with Obama was, we can't go into deficits. Okay, we can't afford it. Okay, so where's the, and if Trump was responsible for the all-time low unemployment, he's responsible for the all-time high. He told Obama that if you're a leader, you're accountable. Whether it's your fault or not, you're accountable. So if he knew about it in January and he didn't make a decision to advance the PP, and I'm not talking about shutting down the thing from China because the disease came here from Europe. If he didn't, he's accountable. Okay. Now, if he says, I'm accountable, I'm trying to work my way out of it, then he's a leader. But if he blames everyone else, Obamagate, okay? If he starts to talk about Free America when he issued the national emergency, he issued it, not Nancy Pelosi. If you issue a national emergency and you tell people follow these guidelines and people with AK-47s want to free the country and you say they're respectable people, but NFL players took a knee and you said they were sons of a bitches, you're a disgrace to stand with that man. I don't give a fuck if the Dow Jones would go to 10,000. I would never stand with Trump, okay? 100, okay? And not because of anything other than what I just said was all fact, okay? And if you think Hillary Clinton was responsible for Benghazi, where 3 Americans died, and we sit here today and 92,000 Americans have died, then you damn sure better be irate, okay? And if you're not irate, you're not honest, and you're not a good person, okay? So the bottom line is, guys, you know where I stand, okay? Let's take a hydration break. Savat. Hey, Sam. Stacy. Sam. Job since 2007. There you go. Well, now you're talking my language. Old Gringo. I bet New Jersey was paradise. I bet New Jersey was paradise when only, I don't even know what Latino people mean. Was there not, man? It always had the same climate, man. New Jersey was never, man, it's better than, some other parts of the world. Frank, for coconut juice when you get back, well, I got my Jordanian, thank you, Frank. Shout out to my Jordanian mom and daughter down there in South Florida. I still remember you guys. I'm coming back. So hold my spot, get my coconuts ready. I'm coming back. Frank, man, thank you for all your support. Again, love to everyone, guys. I love you. I don't care who you vote for, what you do in life. I got to be myself. I know it hurts some people, though. I know. Okay? I know it hurts some people. But it hurts me more not to be myself. So that's where I need to be, okay, to go forward. In a whole place where I can be myself. There's different protocols, okay? As passionate as I just was and I am, I'm not that way when I'm in public because I respect the protocol of shared community. When Trump got elected, did I protest? No. Will I protest if he gets elected? No, guys, I don't hope anyone does bad. I don't hope he has the coronavirus, even though he's drinking hydroxychloroquine. So, all I can tell you is this, guys. Let's just stay positive. Good job. Rick, I love you, brother. Shout out to you, Rick. Thank you again for all your support. I love you, man. Stay positive. Hang in there. Stay safe. Yes, no stimulus check here. Been working every day. Yeah. And how much did we give to airlines, guys? How much did we give to cruise ships? Total disaster. Survive. So total socialism for capitalism. Only the corporations get the socialism, though, right? Yeah, I know. Survive. I play the game. I trade stocks. I did that too. Just have another hustle, pay off your debt, and have your emergency fund. Stacy, how do I donate? Well, again, you could. One is make sure you're taking care of yourself first. That's number one. Number two is if you want to support the channel, you click the blue join button, or you can super chat. Love to you. Savat. It's a side hustle. There you go. I like that. Old gringo. At Savat. Is Savat like safe? Oh, safety? Yeah, I don't know. And I know I say you guys' names wrong sometime. So please don't get offended if I say your name wrong. I'm just not good at saying names. Savat. No, it's the first name. It's the first name. Old gringo. So it's like Savat. Yeah, I'm probably not even saying that right. Milano, what's up, man? Shout out South Florida. Sammy, you hear about the Italian doctors? They have the cure? No, I hear about that. I heard about Trump drinking hydroxychloroquine, but I ain't hear about the Italian doctors having a cure. Savat. Shout out to you, Milano and Emilio. Savat. Like the sofa on the house thing. Was that the horn? What was the sofa? Oh, the sofa? Milano. Aspirin and Ipronox? Oh, I ain't taking no aspirin and Ipronox, man. Is that what you're taking? Savat. That's how you pronounce it. Oh, Savat. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I got to call you Savat. Now, Milano, you say Milano like Manolo. So, like, I call Milano, but, like, how you pronounce his name is Manolo. But, Milano, forgive me. You know I love you, but that's how I pronounce your name. Jennifer. I don't live in Daytona, Florida. Thank God. A lot of drug use in that area. I hate to say that, but I got to be honest with you guys. I've moved in another area now. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Now, look, guys, that's what it is, guys. I love you. Milano. They cure 14,000 already. I don't know, guys. Hopefully they keep helping people. I don't want to see anyone suffer. I don't care who you vote for, what you do. I don't like to see anyone suffer. Old gringo. Got it. That's Savat. Savat. Oh, yeah, he's from Bosnia. Love to you, brother. Old gringo. Texas equals Tex tribe, named by Spaniards. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Frank, man, thank you again, man. Really, really, I'm grateful for all your support tonight, man, for joining the membership and for all those generous super chats. Thank you. A lot of people are fake being yourself as priceless. Yeah, it's tough, man. You know, there's a price to being yourself. I've shared about it somewhat tonight, but, you know, it's just, again, don't stay in a marriage if you can't be yourself. You know, I cut out my father. I couldn't be myself. Life's hard enough, guys, and I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt you if, like, you know, you get upset, like, when I say something about Trump or something. I don't want to hurt people. But I don't want to take advantage of people. I don't want to, like, hide who I am. So I wish, like, everyone could get along and we're in heaven. That's my wish. But I know that's never going to be the reality of life in this world. So I have to just be myself. I try to be overall positive. I try not to ever hurt anyone. But you got to just let the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean? Bland. Beware of pyramid schemes, guys. Oh, definitely. Multi-level marketing, that's all it is. But society's a pyramid scheme if you really think about it. You know what I mean? So it's all a little bit of a show game. Old gringo, Savat. Bosnian, forgive me saying this wrong. I like the traditional music. Okay, Savat laughing. It's not bad for drinking. What, hydroxychloroquine? Old gringo laughing. Money man. Did you change your license plate to a Florida one? Yeah, I'm a Florida resident. Rick. Hey, Sam. Does your mom... Oh, yeah, I read that already. Now she doesn't. Love to you, Rick. Thank you again for love, man. I appreciate you. Forgive me if I hurt you. Rick, good. Because, yeah, the sock masturbation. Look, yeah, I mean, I don't know if my mom would get offended about that. Because she heard me say that when I used to do church stuff. And, but, there's just different things you share with your mother than you share with your lover. You know what I mean? So, it's just different protocols. Frank, did you hear the news of Joe... Oh, yeah, I read that too. No, I didn't. But I think Joe Rogan's overall fair person. I think he's good for society. Frank. Yeah, that's a custom member emoji. The guy laughing on the floor. Pluto. They love buildings. I don't know about that. That's about the psychopaths with that profile. I don't know about that. With the city background of Hitachi or whatever. Not good. Yeah, if you see the Hitachi building in the city skyline, you're a psychopath. Oh, Gringo Joe. Haha. That's interesting about the Hong Kong city background. I hope you don't have one, man. No, don't have. It's a disaster. Yeah, it's a talk. Yeah, I read that already, but thank you, brother, again for that tip. Yeah, as long as you don't leave things on your dashboard, even in the Florida heat, you should be fine. Remember, put them in your back seat and put your covers over your electronics so they don't overheat. Blue jeans. Hey, Sam. Who is the lady from Destin like to sub to her? Showgirls. Showgirls. She lives in Destin, Florida. She did DoorDash. And she does other stuff, but yeah, that's who it is. Showgirls. Pluto. She might be a skyscraper lover. Nah, she's a psychopath. I love her though. I'm not mad at her. I'm no disrespect. But they tried, like, there's some people in the psychiatric ward, they're good-hearted people. I don't look down on them. They're trying to get their life together. So, you know, we all struggle mentally. I don't look down on people because they got a mental problem. But there's some people in the psych ward that they're fucking assholes, okay? So I don't care if you do have a mental problem. Like, guys, if someone walks by me in a wheelchair and they kick me, I'm gonna fucking, what the fuck you doing, man? So if a psychopath leaves a nasty mental comment on my channel, I say, fuck you. You know? So guys, like, you don't get a pass because you can't talk to me however you want because you got a mental problem. It's like saying, like, someone with a wheelchair can come up to you and hit you with a bat. Like, you know, look, if you roll over my foot on the way to the gas station, I'm gonna let that slide. But if you hit me with a baseball bat, guys, this is gonna be a problem. Okay, so you know what I mean? I don't want a conflict. Okay, I don't go seeking out people like with the Hitachi background city skyline. Like, I'm gonna belittle them, but they ain't gonna come on my channel and mentally and emotionally abuse me. I don't play that game, guys. This ain't 50 Shades of Psychopath. Okay, this ain't that channel. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, the psychopaths will run the show. If you don't, you gotta check them. Right? You gotta block them because but there's always another psychopath. I don't know how they all got that channel. Frank, I read that too. Yeah, but I like Publix, Whole Foods, and Sprouts, and Fresh Market. Jason, New Jersey was named after an island off Jersey coast, the England of France. I didn't know that. And France, England and France, it was like a stronghold. And with a castle there, the Nazis held it for a while in the war. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know any of that. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I read that already too. But go for a walk late at night and early in the morning and keep walking, brother, and try to change your diet a little bit. Less eating out. Oh, Gringo. Just for the record, I can't stay. Yeah, I read that already. I know I went into a rant. Thank you for sharing. And again, love to everyone out there who, whatever political spectrum you believe in, I don't want bad things to happen to you. I really, look, after I vote, I get as much involved as I can, but I don't sit up at night thinking about any politician, okay? And I want the best for our country and for humanity. But, you know, it's better that you know where I stand. That way we don't run in circles. Oh, Gringo. No, thank you for the super chat again, man. No city pics on my channel. I like nature scenes. Well, shout out to you, old Gringo, man. God bless you, man. Thank you for being a member. And thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Old Gringo, thank you. Super Shovel, what's up, man? I have land in, I don't know how to say this properly, Interlachen, Florida, 30 miles east of Gainesville. Oh, God. What do you think about living in your car in the land until enough cash for a down payment for home? It's the country, only like 4 neighbors. Yeah, the biggest, you solve the problem in having a safe, legal place to park. Check mark. You don't solve the problem with climate control. Summertime, even in North Florida, is a burden without electric. And I'm not talking about solar. You need electric to run an air conditioning. A fan will not do it even in North Florida on some months. So I think it's good, especially to start you off. But I think you will suffer with not having that electrical hookup. And that's where the cheap life will bite you in the ass. And that's where you pay a price. But at least it's a launching pad to start your nomadic journey possible. And you always have a fallback option. But you got to be able to have an income around that area. Like I know that area is probably like in the middle of nowhere. So you got to be able to DoorDash if you need like that supplemental income. Now, I don't know your income situation. Like if you can go to your job or if you're independently wealthy or you're living off some type of program, those are all things you have to consider before you would relocate. Frank, the MILFs will be out in South Florida this weekend. I know, man. I'm trying to get down there, Frank. Damn it, man. Pray for me, man, because I'm trying to get down there. Thank you again, man, for your generosity. All I can tell you is thank you, Frank. Thank you, man. Yeah, hold it down for me. I'll be down there soon. Oh, God willing. Okay. I've been thinking about walk behind an abandoned building where no one can see me. I haven't been laid since 2009. I got to lose this weight. Also, if you love corporations more than people, vote Trump. Yeah, I mean, look, I think both political parties, I'm not anti-corporation. I'm just saying that the system is imbalanced. But that being aside, I'm not worried about you getting laid because masturbation releases the necessary sexual function of the reproductive system. And relationships can destroy you more than build you. I am concerned about you walking behind abandoned buildings. Okay, why? Because environment matters. And you want to walk in safe, healthy places that have some visual stimulus. Like, I'm not talking about the stimulus package with $1,200 a month. I'm talking about walking by a nice area, seeing visual stimuli inspires you. Looking at abandoned buildings is going to jeopardize possibly your safety, and it's going to possibly depress you. So just think about that. Moldog. Trump mailing in your ballot makes you a criminal, even though he voted from, Trump voted in Washington as a Floridian because he mailed in his vote, the last one. Reporters, didn't you mail in your ballot? Yeah, I remember that question. Tom dropped a Mac. Thank you for your support, Tom. Love to you, brother. Hang in there, man. I was praying for you today. I read your comment. I know you had a tough day today, man, with your back. I'm praying for you, brother. The worst time to live in your car is when you feel sick or hurt. So I'm praying for you, brother. Frank, man, thank you again, Frank. I hope you really hear me. That again, I'm grateful. Don't want to take advantage of you either. So I want to be honest with you, but I'm very grateful for your support tonight. Frank! Damn, man, keep it up. Frank, man, thank you, me. I can tell you, I wish I was working out. Thank you, brother, for the tip. Thank you for the love tonight. Graciously appreciate it, man. Thank you. Old Gringo dropped a mic emoji. Old Gringo. Lenny Lapati. The Native American Indians that are native to New Jersey. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's the name of their tribe. Thank you, oh Gringo. Milano, Sammy, this is better than DoorDash. I would make more money doing DoorDash if I did it full time than YouTube. So obviously YouTube has consistently grown, but even now where I've grown, if I did DoorDash full-time versus just YouTube full-time, I would make more DoorDash. I like doing YouTube better. It plays to my gift. It plays to my passion. Now, I enjoy to drive in South Florida. That's why I really like doing DoorDash, and I like to know that's always an option. If you're going to do YouTube, you'd want to have another side. YouTube is like trading stocks. Well, not completely, but it's a little bit of... It takes time to do YouTube. It grows very incrementally. 1,000 views equals about $1. Now, the super chats are a blessing. You can't depend on them. The memberships are a blessing. They provide some support. The AdSense revenue is very low, and that's why I tell you guys, very tough for it to be a main hustle. It's a good side hustle. You'd have to have another side hustle to supplement, such as DoorDash, or such as an auto mechanic, or such as IT. Why? Especially if you're trying to do YouTube like me, and you're trying to not just do it for a business, that's part of it, but you're also trying to do something like creatively with your spoken word, with your message. You have to have the freedom to be yourself. And the freedom to be yourself means I've lost many viewers. Okay. Now, I've gained some, and I'm very thankful for all. And I think in the long term, you gain more being yourself. But it takes a long time. Okay. So anyone who watches my channel, they know that I'm consistent. For 3 years, I upload a video every day. I answer every comment. I put work into it. But I've also been blessed, You have to get a little bit lucky. People have to support you. They have to like you. So it's a balance of things. But you put the work in. You don't fully depend on it. And if it grows and if you get a little bit lucky, praise the Lord. That's like kind of my overall message to YouTubers. I practice what I preach, okay? And you see that through the evidence of my life, okay? I am not perfect, but I'm sharing with you all these things, all right? Good job. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. Laxi, hi. I follow your channel. Thank you for sharing your experience. Well, thank you for that positive comment. Good to have you. Tom, just got here. How's it going, Sam? Well, you probably heard, I know I'm getting a little slow to the comments, but I'm doing all right, man. I'm praying for your back, brother. Thank you. Today was a horrible day in New Jersey as far as the weather, brother. It's very mentally challenging. I was thinking about you too with the rain. Money man, where do you park at night? I'm new to the channel. It all depends. It could be a campground. I recommend Thousand Trails as a general place as a home base. It could be a truck stop. It could be a rest area. It could be a Walmart. So it could be a variety of things. I never disclose where I'm at, when I'm at, that you have to keep privacy. But I just did a video like 2 videos ago about the different legal places that you could legally park. So the biggest one you can always tell you is a campground. There are some free campgrounds. Now it's going to vary on your location, and who you are personally. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. Again, you could Airbnb a backyard and see if you can park back there, or Airbnb a driveway. I mean, you know, you got to put a little bit of research into it, but it's a possibility. But the cheap life is, I don't have the comforts and the convenience of a house. It's true. Or an apartment. Alan Noyes, love to you, brother. I know I'm a little bit late and you retracted, but love to you, brother, and it's great to have you. Old Gringo, man. No city pics on my channel. Yeah, I know, already. Like nature scenes. Love to you, man. Thank you, Old Gringo. Lila K. Smith, I added you as a sub. Frank. The Mills in South Florida will be here this weekend. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend this weekend, guys. New Jersey is going to be a shit show. I hate to say that. Not even good weather. I was thinking about going to Florida this weekend, but the gyms still don't have the showers open. I called Anytime Fitness today, but they said they're locked down too. Old Gringo. This is what I like about Arizona and New Mexico. I could live in a car or van in the summer. Yeah, that's true, because it's less humidity. And you can live in the car in the summer in the mountains. See, I don't like the mountains. I went to the mountains in Vermont one summer. I have a friend that likes Vermont. Shout out to him. But I don't like Vermont. It's cool. It's cool in the summer in the mountains, but I don't like the culture where it's cooler. Move to the desert when in the winter. Yeah, if you were truly a nomad, that's what you do. You go to higher elevation in the summer and lower elevation in the winter. Florida is basically sea level, low as hell. That's why it's so hot. So higher elevation, like every 1,000 feet is like 3 degrees lower. So if you go up into the mountains in the summer, you don't need air conditioning. That's true. Okay, thanks, Lila. Frank, man, thank you again, brother. I got to get my workout game back on. Lila Bone Thug, I just subscribed to your channel. Illinois, New Jersey is getting rain. It's a disaster past few days, man. That went through Chicago. Oh, is that what happened? We're getting, it felt like a northern wind. The wind was definitely blowing from up north, so that makes sense. All right, guys, all I can tell you is thank you. I'm very grateful for everyone tonight who watched, who showed me love, who left a comment. Thank you, Frank, for becoming a new member, for all the super chats. Thank you, everyone who super chatted tonight. Thank you, everyone who clicked the thumbs up. Thank you for all my regular members. Tom, love to you, brother. Yeah, check out that Airbnb video I did, man. It's a good video, I think it was. I'm going to do more videos, too, where I screen share my phone. That'll add another element of value to my channel to help visually express the message to people and show them by example. Thank you, Tom, for the drop the mic custom emoji. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate you, man. Peace and love.